Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to our channel. That's it, man. Hey, hello to everybody that's in the side chat. Tiger Ward, hello. Slim Jim, Evil Rick, Greg McBee, hello. Jammin' Rooney, how are you? Guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to tonight. But first off, we got to thank our sponsors of Cape Cod Harley Davidson, Yankee Harley Davidson, and the Heyman Law Firm. All right, guys, I'm going to bring in Eddie and Ray. They are from the Hudson Valley Biker Network. So let's all say hello to them and give them a warm Dr. Harley welcome. What's up, guys? How you doing? Welcome to the show.
What's going on, Dr. Harley? How's everything going?
Oh, great, man.
Thank you.
Hey, Corey's here as well. Corey, how are you, buddy?
Hey, Corey.
Yep, Corey was down in here helping me do the engine swap on my Lowrider S. Nice. I don't know if you guys saw any of the videos of that yet.
Awesome. No, I did not. No, I got to check that out.
Hey, behind Rudy's Fairing, hello. So you guys are Hudson Valley Biker Network. What is it?
Well,
I know what it is. I want all the viewers here to know all about you guys.
Yeah, it's a Hudson Valley Biker Network. To put it plainly, right now we are the centralized hub for everything motorcycle related in the Hudson Valley region. Anything from upcoming events, anything that clubs have going on, charity rides, charity events, dealerships throwing specials. Basically, anything that has to do with anything is with us. It's on our website. It's on our Facebook group page. We try to get all that information out there as much as possible to help everybody grow their clubs, grow their businesses, and that's what we're here for.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's coming up in the future for the Hudson Valley Biker Network?
So our biggest thing is right now we have our second annual Hudson Valley Motorcycle Expo coming up on April 29th. Ray and I are super excited about this. We did our first expo last year at the MJN Convention Center. It's the old Mid-Hudson Civic Center in the city of Poughkeepsie. And, we had an opportunity to do it there, and, we had the right connections, and we made it happen. There was a threat of a major snowstorm, which actually happened that night. We had a fight around all the COVID restrictions and all that shit. But you know what? If we saw that all these other expos were closing down because of COVID, and we were just like, you know what? We can't not do something. We have to do something for our bikers. We talk to bikers all the time on our Facebook page, and we hear them complaining like, oh, there's nothing to do. This got canceled. This got canceled. So Ray and I really kind of felt like we have to do this. And so we found a location that actually had the equipment and the facility to do it, which was the MJN Convention Center. So they were able to get around a lot of the restrictions for COVID. So we hosted our first event, man. And like I said, there was a huge snow blizzard that night. I think it dropped like 4 inches of snow on us. There was wind gusts everywhere, but people still made it out. All the vendors came out. We put on a rocking show, man. And we had almost 1,300 people there in the middle of a snow blizzard. So
now, is this an indoor or outdoor event or both?
This is actually both this time around. We actually moved the location. So we're going to be in LaGrange, which is just outside of Poughkeepsie at the Gold's Gym Sports Complex. And they have the sports complex is all these turf fields that they use for soccer and indoor lacrosse and stuff like that. So they have almost 40,000 square feet. When we were at the MJN Center, it was just a little over 10,000 square feet that we had available. So we were able to secure 2/3 of the location of the sports complex. So we've got about 24,000 square feet of indoor space. And then we've got a whole outside area also that we've got all sorts of stuff planned, which is also pretty exciting.
Now, could you give us a little insight of what vendors might be there or have confirmed coming, or is that a surprise?
No surprise.
Yeah, no surprise. We have, one of the things that we wanted to do in our first expo was get a lot of people selling things. We wanted people to have an opportunity to spend some money there. But this year we have a lot of that. We have a lot of different motorsports places, shops selling shirts and parts. And we have a whole array of people really selling shirts and merchandise and gloves and leather. We have some leather vendors that are going to be there as well.
Will Hot Leathers be there?
What's that?
Was Hot Leathers be there? Do you know?
Hot Leathers was not able to make it this year.
Darn.
Yeah.
Because they're a Connecticut-based company that used to have a storefront, and they closed their storefront, which is horrible for me, you know?
Yeah, we tried to get them in. Unfortunately, they were unable to make it. So
we've got Heroic Leathers is going to be there this year, as well as Primate Leathers up out of Schenectady.
Oh,
so
nice.
A couple different leather companies. But we did bring in a complete array of different vendors and things like that. We've got a bunch of shops, but our main goal and what makes our expo different than going to like the Javits Center and the IMS and stuff like that is that we base our vendors and our the people that are going to be there on local business. Mm-hmm. So we're all about supporting the local shops, the local dealerships. So, it'd be nice to bring in a manufacturer, but unless that manufacturer is a local manufacturer that also supplies product to the local shops, we're kind of, like I said, we're looking for more business.
Harley Davidson or Indian or Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki reached out and wanted to set up, you would let them or the local dealerships?
We did it through the local dealerships. So the local dealerships is the avenue that we chose. So we partnered with a couple of local dealerships that will be there displaying machines and things of that nature. So
excellent. That's good stuff. Now, I'm sure you guys are advertising Americade coming up and Catskill Mountain Thunder.
Yep, our good buddies, Catskill Mountain Thunder.
Yep. I'm going to be there in September for the whole rally. It's my first time going to Catskill Mountain Thunder. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, you're going to be in for a treat.
Good time, yeah. That's a rally for sure.
Well, I've been to all the major rallies throughout the U.S. I just got back from Daytona. I've been to Daytona a few times. I've been to Sturgis, been to Laconia a bunch of times. I've been down to Myrtle Beach a bunch of times, Ocean City. So I'm a rally whore, to put it plainly. I love the rallies, and I go there with a pocket full of cash and, and I go have fun. And that's the way I like to do it. But Mike Will Bike goes New York. Yes, they are Hudson Valley, New York, Mike.
Yep.
If anybody's interested, I linked in the description of the video their website. I didn't do the YouTube page. I apologize for that, but I got your website linked in the description of this page. And it's really simple. It's www.hudsonvalleybikerNetwork.com, correct?
Correct.
Yep. There's also hvbikers.com.
Okay. Same place.
So Two Wheels, not sure myself, but yep, that's them.
That is us. That's our website. We also, we started out as a Facebook page back in 2009. Eddie actually started it out. I joined him about 2 years later. So we've been doing this together for quite a few years now. And, it started out, Eddie just wanted some people to get together with and ride with, and also just to put events out there and stuff of what's going on and kind of have a hub for people to go to. And we've grown that now to, we've got a little over 11,000 members and a lot of them, which we prided ourselves upon, was we tried to keep a majority of them local. We didn't expand our group to include, anybody can grow a nationwide group or a worldwide group. And that wasn't our goal. Our goal was to have a group that was more centralized to our area. So probably 85 to 90% of our members are all in our vicinity, which is phenomenal. And that gives us some ability to do some great events. Anytime we post anything out, we get great turnouts. As a matter of fact, I just rolled in from a bike night that we did. We do these pop-up bike nights. And we did this one in Kingston. And we counted up about 106 bikes showed up to our first bike night there, which was a pretty decent turnout.
That's great. Well, one, you had the weather for it today.
Oh, absolutely. It was absolutely gorgeous.
And two, everybody's itching to get out and ride, even though it hasn't been a horrible winter down here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Upstate New York, it's been, of course, worse and colder and a lot snowier. but along the coast, it hasn't been so bad, especially in the Hudson Valley.
Yeah.
But so we got that. What's coming up next for you guys? Because you guys talked about Jacob Javits. My wife and I used to love going to that bike show every year until they canceled it due to COVID, which is horrible.
Yeah. Now they're doing the outdoor stuff, right?
Yeah, but they're not at Jacob Javits. They're no longer down in Pennsylvania anymore like they used to be. Because after Jacob Javits, they went to Pennsylvania, and they're no longer in Pennsylvania anymore, which I think that was the Progressive
correct
show.
Yeah. Yeah. For us, it's we're just focused right now primarily on our expo. And as soon as that's over, and again, that's only a few weeks away. Once that's over, then it's on to the next thing. But for us, it'll be focused more on we just actually started a foundation recently. So our foundation is where we're going to be putting a lot of our efforts and time and energy into. And it's going to be a way we're going to be really able to give back to the biker community. We're pretty excited about our foundation.
Nice. You want to give us some more information on that foundation?
Yeah, it's called the Biker Foundation. It's thebikerfoundation.org. And, its main focus is really to obviously be a support for bikers, right? But it also has a component there for peer support. A lot of bikers, unfortunately, we get into accidents. We don't always ride by ourselves. We're usually with groups. And when these tragic accidents happen, there are people that are with us and that they see these things and that they become traumatized by it. And so we've with our group, we've been able to identify a lot of people that have gone through similar incidents and that are willing to kind of help people get through those tough times. Our
kind of like what Gears in Heaven does here in Connecticut.
Yeah, just very similar. Yeah. It was funny because when our foundation came out is when we learned of Gears in Heaven, right? So which is cool. The more support that we can get out there for bikers, the better, And so we actually met them at Don Clady's show in Connecticut just recently.
Yep.
And we had a great conversation. They're very respectful, very nice, and we were looking forward to working with them on more of a.
They'll actually be at the expo.
Yeah,
Excellent.
They'll actually be at the expo.
We gave them a booth at the expo.
Yeah,
nice.
Working with them on more of a bigger platform.
I could tell you, they put up, and it's a put up or shut up, and they put up. A good friend of mine was in a pretty bad motorcycle accident. And of course, I reached out to them and, it says, hey, this is the family's information. See what you can do. They were ready to go, clean the house, do babysitting. They have nursing on staff that help them navigate the medical and, help them raise money with their GoFundMe and things like that. And, personally, I could tell you, they put up. They don't sit there and say, there's other organizations out there that say, we're here to help you, but we want donations. And then when you go sit there and says, hey, I need the help, you hear crickets. And that's not Gears in Heaven at all. I could, from personal experience, because of close personal friends of mine, that is not them. And I'm pretty much sure after meeting you guys, getting to know you guys a little bit, I'm sure you're the same way. Yeah, you like the donations. It helps you out, but you're not going to sit there and turn your back on somebody who needs help.
Right.
No. We've been doing this too long.
One of the big things, and after meeting her from Gears in Heaven, I'm sorry, I forgot her name. But so when I met her, she was a nurse, right? She had her, she was explaining that she was a nurse. And so she brings her professional job into that, her expertise into Gears of Heaven, which really helps them out as far as getting them connected to nursing programs and helping out in that way. And in my job, I deal a lot with mental health patients, and I deal a lot with mental health mobile crisis teams and stuff like that, where we help to provide a lot of these mental health services to people that really need it. And we're trained to deal with them. We're formally trained to deal with them and work together in a holistic way. And so this is something that now I'm bringing to the Biker Foundation with my expertise in working with mental health patients. So, it's one thing to just say like, yeah, this is what we want to do, and we don't really know what we're doing. We just want to do it, and we just want to collect donations. Yes, and I understand that.
Right.
But no, you're right. We're dedicated to it. We already have the resources. We already have the connections, and it's something that we could facilitate very easily.
Yeah. Like one of my next projects that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a 60s to 70s style chopper, and I'm trying to get all the material donated, because once it's done, I'm going to raffle it off at $100 a ticket and max it out at 100 tickets. That's $10,000, and every penny that I get from ticket sales, I'm going to give to a veterans organization here in Connecticut that houses homeless veterans. Myself being a veteran, disabled and everything, that's a charity near and dear to my heart. So I try and give back to my community, the veteran community, the biker community, as much as I can. So I'm hoping I could be able to do that. I'm going to reach out to different places, V-Twin Manufacturing being one of them, right in Newburgh, New York. I'm sure you've been in contact with them, having them come out to your expo as well. Because
yes, they'll be there as well.
Yeah, they're great people. I got to be able to do a full tour in their warehouse right in Newburgh, and I was in awe.
That's awesome.
So, hey, I need to take a quick break, guys. I'm gonna. Why don't you two talk about your organization, how people get a hold of you, and things like that? I apologize.
That's it.
So the Hudson Valley Biker Network, our website is hvbikers.com or hudsonvalleyBikerNetwork.com. We also have the nonprofit foundation, which is the bikerfoundation.com. I'm sorry, .org, bikerfoundation.org. There you can find out all the information. You can find out a bunch of history about Ray and I and how we got this whole thing started. We're really your resource. The Hudson Valley Biker Network is not a club. We're not even considered a riding group. We're more of a community. We like to think of ourselves as the glue that kind of keeps the community together, the motorcycling community together in the Hudson Valley. So if you're a club, a riding group, a dealership, a shop, and you have things going on that you want to share with the rest of the community, we have the platform, we have the ability to get that out. And we have the audience as well, with over 11,000 members, and most of them being in the Hudson Valley region. So very excited about that. The other thing that we haven't mentioned yet is that Ray and I will be on the radio starting every Friday. Starting this Friday, we'll be on the radio every Friday with Wall Radio, and we'll be promoting all of your events. So if you have an event that you want to put up and you want us to help promote on the radio, you can go to hvbikers.com or hudsonvalleyBikerNetwork.com. Click on the events tab, and underneath that, there'll be a link to add your own event. You can add all of your information there. It's completely free. That immediately goes onto our calendar, and any event that is on our calendar for that weekend, we will help promote it. So that's just another way that we can help you guys get your information out there as fast as possible to as many people as possible.
So I guess we are riders. We do ride. Been riding a long time. I started riding when I was a kid. I was 7 years old. I got my first dirt bike. Actually, I was about 3 years old when my father used to put me on the tank of his little KE 125 and used to ride me around with his friends through the trails and stuff. And then got my first mini bike when I was 7, and then started, by the time I was about 13, I was a pretty good motocrosser. And then converted over to the street when I was about 19, and then been riding on the street on and off. Was for quite a few years, and then more full-time starting about 15 years ago, I got back into riding full-time on the street. So sport bikes, and then a couple of V-rods. I got a CVO V-rod, a Screaming Eagle 2006. That's my baby. And then I also have a 14 Street Glide I ride. So, and I know Eddie's been riding for a while. When I first met him, he was on a Gixxer. Gixxer 1000.
1000, yeah. So I did my street bike thing for a while, and I ended up getting into cruisers. pretty heavily. I started, then I started small with the Sportster, realized that was too small for me, jumped up, went to a V-Rod.
You
Then
had the
from
V-Rod.
went to the Road King, and then went to Ultra Classic, which I just sold, by the way. So I'm actually in between bikes right now. But I actually I love it so much that I'm a full-time police officer in Westchester County. So I actually got onto the Westchester County motorcycle unit in 2016, and then in 2018 I went to the Harley Davidson police motorcycle instructor school, which I passed, and now I'm an instructor for our unit and I train our guys. So I've been doing that now for about 7 years now, 7-8 years. So
I see RH asked about if one could join our organization with monthly dues or whatever. We actually did have a program that we were running last year, and it was a yearly due or a yearly membership fee, and then it got you different perks, which was discounts on different things. We got free tickets to our shows, VIP passes to our events, and then it also got you discounts and stuff to a bunch of different businesses and things that we are partnered with. But as of right now, we have put that program on hold. So we actually we do have merch if you want to support. But
the merch could be found on your website?
On the website, yep. So we actually, when we were, our logo is trademarked. And when we were looking at logos and different ideas, Eddie had this idea, because we were in the Hudson Valley. If you look at our logo, which you can probably, I don't know if you can actually see it there. I got to find my damn camera. There it is. So there it is right there. So that is Henry Hudson as a motorcycle rider.
There you go.
That's what it is. So, so that is our logo. And, it's just we will have things available in the future but it would be more geared towards our foundation rather than necessarily the network.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, the network kind of running itself right now, which is great. Again, we have the Facebook page. All the bikers are communicating through that, and everybody knows to go there to get the latest on info and stuff like that. But then the website also offers a bunch of other things, not just event sharing. We also offer a whole resource guide where, if I need parts for my bike and I'm looking for a shop to change a tire, you can find all those shops listed. I just got into an accident on my bike. I hurt myself. I want to reach out to an attorney. There's attorneys on the page, right? Dealerships. There's a ton of different things there under resources that are available for everyone in the community. So I empower you guys to go there and check that out. And if you have a shop or if you have a dealership that you want to add on there, just shoot us an email. Info at Hudson Valley Biker Network.com. And
this is my shop. It's my garage.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can't do here, but there's things I cannot do due to motor vehicle laws and things like that. I can't do motor rebuilds. Well, we don't have inspection in Connecticut, but I can't, tear open a motor or weld a frame, but I do tires and oil changes and bolt-on accessories and things like that. I have my own tire equipment here, and I use different ways to balance it, whether it's a traditional balance, a spin balance, or the ride-on liquid. I don't know if you've heard of that at all. But, it's just a part-time gig that I do that supports the channel and supports my addiction to motorcycles.
I think that's what we all suffer from.
We have guys that have shops in their garage listed too. So,
okay.
It's really putting it back into the bikers' hands, and it's really what they decide they want to do. If they want to bring their bike to somebody who has their own garage,
right.
Hey, that's fine too.
I had a guy drop his bike off to me in November. He's got a 15 Street Glide, and it's black with the chrome trim. He wanted all the chrome gone, and he wanted it all black.
After
talking to him, and I have a very talented powder coater I use here in town, and I've done a video, highlighting him. It's JRD Restorations, and after talking to him, he's a retired New York State cop. So I said to him, what do you think about the thin blue line? He goes, oh, I support it. I says, well, we can do that on your bike with the lower rocker boxes, the little collars on your push rod tubes, and the caliper screens on the back of your calipers. We could powder coat those blue to support, show your love and support for the thin blue line and black everything else out. And he loved it. And actually, the bike came out beautiful.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And he ended up getting the knockoff CVO badges in a blue. So we were able to match the blue and the badge to the powder coating.
That's cool.
Yeah. So the bike came out really nice. I believe it. I do have a couple of videos of it, and I have a bunch of pictures of it on my Instagram and things like that. But yeah, the funny thing is I used to be a club guy, a diamond club. And he looked at me and laughed and says, I'm coming to the Outlaw to get my bike work done. I said, it has nothing to do with anything because I'm not part of that life anymore. and he laughed. I laughed. And, I continue to do some work for him and help him out, which is great.
Listen, man, it's all about respect. It's just,
it is.
Listen, it doesn't matter what world you come from. It doesn't matter who you are. And that's really what Ray and I really, really harp on. It's like, it doesn't matter who you are, what you ride, where you come from.
Right.
We're a very inclusive group. We have diamond clubs that are represented in our network. We have regular riding clubs, we have Christian clubs, we have law enforcement clubs, we have everybody. Yeah. And that's really what we try to do. Quick story, I was driving around in my neighborhood and I actually have my old police bike. Long story, it's actually 3 stories involved with it, but I ended up getting my old police bike that I actually rode through an auction, and I fixed it up. I got a whole wrap done on it, and a lot of the people have seen it from the network at certain events. But I was taking it around the block just to kind of air it out or whatever, and I was working on it. And I passed by this house, and I see a bunch of guys in the driveway with a bunch of bikes. So I was like, oh, maybe they know about the network or whatever, and I'd like to show off my bike, So I swing by. I start rolling up the driveway, and they're kind of like waving me in, like, yeah, come on in. So I started rolling up the driveway. Hey guys, how are you? All you saw was diamonds everywhere. I'm like, oh, okay. But no, man, those guys were great. They were so respectful. They were just like, oh man, is this your bike? And I was like, yeah, they were like, oh, this is awesome. How did you do this? And where'd you get it? So I told them the story. They were like, holy cow. So yeah, I mean, listen, it doesn't matter where you come from, man. You show respect to everybody, and that's really what we're all about.
Exactly. I always say, just because someone's in a diamond club doesn't make them a criminal.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think there's a lot of
misconceptions.
There's misconceptions. That's the word I was looking for. There's a lot of misconceptions out there about clubs and about people who ride and stuff like that. I rode for a riding club for many years, and you would just walk into places and, you would get, the back turned to you. You would have like the side eye and all that other stuff too. I mean, it's just not enough education out there about it. But, for those that do know,
in Connecticut, when I wore a cut, it was like when I walked into a restaurant or a bar, it's like Moses parting the Red Sea. And 80% of the time I go to pay my tab and there was no tab.
Yeah. Wow.
It was like rock star lifestyle. But, yeah, man, that's great that your organization that you have, that you're doing all those great things and helping out bikers in your community, injured bikers. That's what really drew me into you guys at the Don Claudia event, is seeing what you guys do. And once we talked and got to know each other, and I said, they're going, you guys would be great to come on my channel. It's something different than, regular shop talk or having other different YouTubers on. This is outside of my wheelhouse, what I normally do, but I like this format. I like having you guys on here. I like promoting different organizations. As you're one organization that I like to promote. I'm going to, with your permission, grab your flyer off YouTube, and I'm going to put it up on my community. I'm sorry, off of Facebook. I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel on the community tab, and I'm going to put it out on my Facebook and Instagram as well, trying to help promote your expo and things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Share away. And any of your viewers and stuff like that, if they want to share the event too, I mean, the more shares, the better.
Yep. Because there's a couple guys here that are from the Lake George area,
Okay.
Moto Noggin is one. He's up in the Lake George area. So is Upstate Rider. He's in the Lake George area. Rody Riders, he's out in Rhode Island, but he's not afraid to ride. So, there's a lot of things going on. Unfortunately, there's an event that I'm already pre-committed to on the 29th down in New Jersey, or I would definitely be there. Like I was telling you before, if it rains, they're rescheduling it. So if it rains, I'm coming to your event.
Well, hopefully it doesn't rain because we got a lot of outdoor stuff planned. And actually, one of the things that I'd like to talk about with the outdoor that part of our event is we needed this year. We wanted something that was a little more interactive. So we were looking for things that were definitely more interactive. Plus, we're a family-friendly organization.
Mm-hmm.
So we needed kind of like a wow factor. So years ago, going back about 10, 12 years ago, I used to manage a stunt team. And I've always been fascinated with the stunt riders and their abilities to perform and stuff. It's just really, really cool to watch. And I said to Eddie, I said, you know what? We need a stunt rider. So we started looking at some of the local riders and stuff. And I was like, we could bring these guys in and stuff. But we still needed more wow, So one of the fellows in another group posted a video of this guy riding, and it was this Kyle Sliger. And Kyle is one of the top 5 stunt riders in the country, or actually the world, sponsored by Icon Motorsports and a bunch of other ones. Phenomenal stunt rider. This is what he does. And we were able to bring him in for this event.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we're super psyched about bringing him down. He's excited to come to New York and hang out with us and perform for everybody. And just the buzz on the street is amazing. Whenever anybody hears that Kyle's going to be there, it's like, oh my gosh, we got to get there and see this. So he's going to be doing 2 shows for us at the event. We're also going to be doing slow ride demonstrations. So Eddie is very fluent in the art of cone riding, as well as we have a whole team that will be there doing cone ride demonstrations. So that's also very interesting to watch, the way they can toss a 900-pound machine around, at slow, at 5 miles an hour, and do some of the things that they do with them.
It's incredible to watch. I sit there going, I can't even turn around my bike. Never mind manage through these cones. You guys are a whole different level of riding, doing stuff like that than me. And that's awesome. Hey, have you thought of I know they have those mobile axe throwing.
We actually thought of something like that. So instead, we brought in a couple other things. We have the U.S. Army going to be there with a mobile obstacle course for the kids. It's a blow up.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also brought in one of our local Harley Davidson dealers that's helping out with the event, is going to be bringing in electric bikes for kids. So we'll have a course set up for the kids to do the little small electric bikes.
Oh, so
and then
mentally I'm 8. Does that count?
I think they'll haul you around pretty good, And then the other thing is we're also, so our organization, we do, if we look at our demographics, it's 35, almost 40 years old to 65 is our target audience. And two-wheel therapy, man. We're sorry to hear that you're going.
You know what? It's enough time for him to, get sick or plan a vacation day.
Definitely gonna be sick that weekend. Sure.
Yeah. There's always we won't say anything, and as long as they don't see that question pop up, your boss, you're good.
Stay away from the cameras. Stay away from the cameras.
So we've really wanted to be able to also appeal to a younger audience, especially the sport bike crowd, just because of the fact that we know eventually they'll also turn into cruiser crowd, because that's exactly what we did. We started out on sport bikes, and then eventually we went to cruisers. I think my biggest thing was when, I didn't want to be the guy that when I got off the sport bike, pulled my helmet off, I had a full gray head of hair. I just.
Yep. I started off on the small Japanese bikes and went to Ninjas and GSXRs. And then I went into, when I could afford a Harley when I was 40 years old, that's when I got my Harley.
Yeah.
And
I think every kid eventually wants to have a Harley. That's the goal. Even though a lot of the guys, we got a lot of Indian riders, stuff like that in our group. And if Eddie Parker's hearing this, he'll probably say something to me later on.
Oh, we were able to convert one of our guys, Alex. He just sold his gold.
Polaris makes a good product. So
yeah, Polaris. I used to work for a Polaris dealer years ago. Let me tell you what, it wasn't always good.
But listen, man.
There you go. Here's a good way. There, Evil Rick's now evil is twice as evil. That's why it's evil. Evil Rick. You just tell your boss you got anal glaucoma. Can't see that going to work today.
Nice.
That'll work.
So yeah, I have a great group always that comes on my lives. Great people. They're funny. They they rag on each other. Sometimes the side chat conversations get distracting.
You got to see our team, our HVBN. So we have the network, right? But then we have our team of like. We call it the HVBN team, and we help moderate the page. We help put together the expos, help put together the events and everything. So there's about 8 of us, and you should see our Zoom calls, our Zoom meetings. They're just like out of control. Everybody's ragging on everybody. It's about 45 minutes of just ragging on everybody, and then about 15 minutes.
And then we barely get anything done, anything accomplished. Yeah. And the thing is too is that when Eddie and I. We needed help because our network was growing so rapidly that we just needed to pull people in. Plus, we needed to be able to figure out, hey, how can we best, hit every area that we want to hit? So we handpicked all these individuals based on their commitment to, their love for motorcycling and their commitment to the community and how they were doing, how active they were, and kind of what they could bring to the table. And we have some amazing, amazing people that are kind of like our behind the scenes people that help us out. And anybody that comes to our expo will see that because that's our team that helped put all this together.
Now I put up the flyer to your expo here. I'm going to make this full screen so everybody can see it. It's from 11 to 6 on April 29th. So if you guys could make it, again, I'm going to be sharing this out on my community tab and things like that. If you could make it, it's 11 to 6. Highly recommend you go. What is the ticket cost?
All that's $10.
All of $10. So that's a lot of entertainment for $10 per person.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the music. We got some great bands going to be there. We got an amazing DJ that's going to keep the party going for us. And that's one thing that, Eddie and I have always thought, is that we always want to bring the party to whatever we do. Yep. So last year we did our first expo, and we really wanted to, like, our sponsors and our vendors, we wanted to kind of like knock their socks off. So we threw a wild VIP party for that crowd. It was a great time.
Moto Noggin just joined in. He's on vacation in Florida right now, but he's one of the guys I was telling you that's
nice
up around the Lake George area. Noggin, I think this would be one group that you'd be interested in following. It's the Hudson Valley Biker Network. So they are really, you and I think Upstate Rider could get a lot out of it because you guys are from New York and you get to do a lot of stuff. So as far, so you got music, you got a DJ, you got bands. What bands do you have? Are they local bands? Any headliners?
No, we have a couple of local bands that are very popular in the motorcycle community. One of those being Heavy Gauge. Heavy Gauge plays, they play Blackthorn. They played Catskill Mountain Thunder last year, so they were there playing Joe's Garage at Catskill Mountain Thunder. They were at our event last year, and they absolutely rock. And then we got King's Rival, which is another local group.
Rivals New York.
Rivals New York. King's Rival. Yeah. So we got those guys. So it's just going to be a great time. The one thing that we do also is that we have a salute to veterans that we do during our expo, and it's a very, very important part of our mission as far as honoring those people during our events. So last year we had Iron Cobra, which they're a big local band that does a lot of bike events and stuff. And it was crazy because they did the Star Spangled Banner on guitar while the ROTC program did the flag raising and ceremony and stuff.
Oh,
so it's cool.
Awesome.
So this year we're going to do something very similar with one of the bands, and then we don't know what they're gonna cook up right afterwards, but we have the Army involved this year to do the flag ceremony.
I'm a 25-year veteran with the Army.
Awesome.
Thank you.
We thank you for your service.
Hey, I got to play with helicopters. I mean, it wasn't that bad.
That sounds awesome.
I mean, in Iraq, I had to fly around the Patriot cheerleaders for 3 days. It was horrible. Blondes, brunettes, redheads all over the place. It was horrible.
Sounds rough.
War's hell,
Yeah.
But
one of the other things about the expo too is that we forget to mention this, is that it is also a fundraiser for the Biker Foundation. So we're the Hudson Valley Biker Network. We're using our expos as a fundraiser for that program, and so we really want to do the right thing by our bikers, by building up this foundation. And then, like I mentioned before, with like Gears in Heaven, we also have our friends with Forever Friends down in New Jersey to try to bring them in and do like a tri-county networking group. Eventually, that's been our idea since meeting Gears in Heaven. It gets the wheels turning and our
gears turning.
I guess the gears turning, right? But it really, we really want to build this up, and it's really all about building up the biker community. It's
and believe it or not, YouTube, we in this small niche in YouTube of motorcycles and motorcycle enthusiasts, we've built our own little community in here that we help each other out as much as we can. And there are times where I'll have a live video and another channel will have another live video going the same day, the same time. And I put it out to them and says, hey, why don't we get together and do a live together sometimes? And we did it, and it was a lot of fun. We combined our resources and came together and had one heck of a show. It was awesome. So
that's what it's all about,
Yeah.
And everybody together.
So the big question people are going to ask, will there be like beer and wine and cocktails at the expo? Or is it a dry event?
So last year we had it because we didn't offer it. Actually the MJN Convention Center had the liquor license, and they sold the beer and stuff like that. This year, because we needed the extra space, and we found Gold's Gym. Again, we don't
hold a liquor license.
Yeah, we don't do that, and
okay.
We don't really want to because it's going to be nice weather. We don't really want to promote drinking and riding and stuff like that. So we just kind of thought it'd be better for us not to do it this year. Yeah. And but
completely understandable.
I get it. I totally get it. People want to go and have a good time, but with our insurances and that we have to pay for and everything else, like liability issues.
We do have 5 different food trucks going to be there, so there's going to be like foods from around the world.
I like food. I'm a fat, happy guy. I love food.
Yeah, empanadas. We got everything over there. It's gonna be good.
We got barbecue, pizza, empanadas. What else we got?
Hot dogs.
Yeah, got a little bit of everything.
Excellent.
No, but then trying to think of what else we've got going on. Oh, the other thing we brought in, I was telling you about how to attract the younger crowd. We have one of those moto trainers coming in, and the moto trainer it's like a virtual. It's got a big screen in front of it, and you actually sit on a motorcycle, and it dips and does all this different stuff, and it simulates racing on a track.
Oh, so, that sounds like fun. I would enjoy.
Yeah, we've got that, and then the way we're doing that is that we actually you sign up and you get 3 laps on whatever track it is that they're highlighting. And the fastest 3 riders of the day are going to win trophies. So we're going to have that.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
And then, so it'll be like a little competition. And then we also have, obviously, it's a motorcycle event. So we'll have bikes there. We'll have a custom bike show.
Oh, excellent.
One of the bikes that's coming in is from Connecticut. We've got Miss Emily Miner coming in with the Nautilus bike that you may have seen at Don Cloudy's show.
Yep. And I believe she was commissioned to build a bike for somebody and on a TV show.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She's got her own program now called Lady Bike Builder. And I guess they got the first episode in the books. And then she has started working. Actually, they will be there. Her channel will be there. The motorcycle channel is going to be there with a booth. They're going to have a whole studio set up, and they're going to be filming live one of her episodes.
Now you're really making me want to go there.
So we're just trying to bring in
some cameras and poker chips and stickers and have a good time.
We are trying to do things that people are going to go, wow, that's really cool. I've never seen anything like that before,
Now, I'm going to bring this up because somebody brought it up to me, because recently on Sunday, the video came out of the dyno day of my project bike that I did. And I've seen at some rallies where they'll have a mobile dyno guy there, but one guy, I can't remember his name, and it's not Dr. Dyno. It's literally dyno drag racing.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I thought that was actually a cool idea.
Yeah. So you got two of them next to each other, right? And
yep. You pull your bike in, straps in, another bike pulls in, straps in. There's a Christmas tree and you launch and then you go.
Awesome. That's cool.
Well, here's the thing. For next year, we need to outdo what we do this year. So we will keep that in the back of our minds for next year for sure.
Yeah. And cool. You could count on me definitely next year.
Awesome.
So you'll have the expo once a year?
Yeah, once a year. Last year we did it in January. We learned a hard lesson because weather is unpredictable. And then as much as people wanted to get out and do something and things like that, it was too much. So we wanted to basically kick off the season with the expo this year for us. And then it works out well because with our radio program that we do, we can advertise it, through there and then and promote it. And then also, it's the kickoff to, May is Bike Safety Month. So, it's a big kickoff to that for us. So
yeah. Speaking of your radio program, where will we find your radio program?
It's going to be on the Wall Radio, which the Wall is one of the last of the independent radio stations in the Hudson Valley.
Okay.
They're not a Clear Channel or one of those. Yeah, no, they're holding out. So they have like 5 or 6 different channels though that they actually do, but it's mostly the Middletown, Orange County area.
Okay.
But we'll have every episode that we do, and they're short. We've done this once before. We did it with another radio station last year. And then this year we were approached by the radio station because they wanted one of the local dealerships to do something with them. And he said, the only way that I will do anything is if the Hudson Valley Biker Network does the program for us. So we were kind of flattered.
Yeah.
We really, we know Jim. We don't know him all that well, but apparently he knows who we are and what we've done. So,
have you been in contact with like Paul Jr. Designs or anything like that?
We've always reached out. I think every year we have an event, we reach out to Paul, but yeah, it's tough to get those guys. They're in a different.
I know when they go to certain events, they want X amount of dollars just to show up and things like that. But if this is like a charity, it's a tax write-off for them.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And the thing is that we're not afraid to spend money if we think that the return is going to be beneficial to the organization.
If it's an investment, not not something that's going to hurt you.
But we're not going to spend too much money.
Right.
It's just, we were wise about what we did with our funds this year.
That's good. That's really good. because you got budgetary and things like that. And I'm sure you have a board of directors that steer the direction of the organization and things like that, and it's all got to clear through them. I'm sure it's already reached that level.
Yeah.
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 It's
So
basically just us two.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're looking at,
It's
you're
just
looking
two of
at
them.
the board of directors.
My
Well,
wife's
you know
my
what?
wife's the
Keeping
my wife's
it
the
so-
brainiac behind the funds though.
Yeah, keeping it small and simple is always the best way to go, in my opinion, because then there's less levels and less politicking that has to be done.
Yeah. I'm
Ray
sure that
Ray and I have a great relationship with,
Yeah.
we've been building this for so long. It's become part of who we are now, and he and I will very rarely have opposing opinions on things. So, if he brings something up to me, it's more than likely 99.9% of the time, I'm like, yep, let's do it. And then I'll
and vice versa.
like, yep, let's run with it, so
That's
we work very well together.
awesome. That's awesome. I'm really excited for you guys. You're doing some really cool stuff in the Hudson Valley. I go down to the Motorcyclopedia Museum quite a bit in Newburgh. I actually did a meet and greet there this year, and I was able to go to the warehouse that's V-Twin Manufacturing, also as Ted Cycle. I'm hoping he'd get on board, because he's certainly got a lot of stuff in there I could use for this donation bike or the bike project I want to build. It's literally a 60s to 70s style chopper. I'm talking extended front end, wild paint, bunny ear, handlebars, king queen 2-up seat, thin tires, bare minimal chopper that's custom built, and that who wouldn't want to buy a $100 raffle ticket for this bike? And I'm not going to limit it to only 6. If someone wants to say, I want to buy all 100, okay, here you go, you won. It's but I know a lot of people who sit there and say, I'll buy 2 or 3, because I'm bouncing this idea. It's in its infancy stage right now of planning, and the design is already done in my head, and how I'm going to do it. Now I'm going to be starting out planning and trying to get people involved. Maybe I could get Indian Larry involved, his shop. That would be awesome. Even if it's something as simple as them coming up, giving me a hand with something. I mean, that would be great if that can happen. I got a lot of
great bike builders out in your area too. I know Area 61.
Yep.
Nice. They're out in Connecticut area there, right? I did reach out to them. They were interested in coming to the expo. So maybe next year though. They wound up with some stuff going on.
We also have Bad Cycles here in Connecticut, right in Bristol. They're pretty good. There used to be Orange and Black Harley shop, but they closed. They went out. He shut down and retired. He tried to sell the business, but he couldn't, so he just shut it down and retired. And then there's a lot of other things floating around, but I'm trying to reach out to as many people as I can that I could sit there and say, okay, this is what I want to do. This is how I'm looking to get it done, and go from there. I think the next conversation I'll have to have is with Homes for the Brave. That's a great organization.
Yeah, we as a matter of fact, we have an organization that'll be at our expo called Combat Customs. And it's a veteran organization. They have a shop now. They actually just moved. They got a brand new shop, and they're in Newburgh, right? Is that where they're?
Yes.
I think, yeah. So they're in Newburgh. A fellow by the name of Mike Halpin works with that organization, and great organization. All they do is they build bikes and give them away to veterans. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That might be something for me to look into.
Yeah.
See if they have any spare parts they want to donate or help or whatever.
Yeah, that's who you'd want to reach out to.
24 by 24 garage, and I got 2 lifts. I got tire equipment and everything else you could think of to do what I do here. And I do all my filming myself, and one video my wife actually came down as the camera crew.
That's great.
Yeah,
you got that support at home.
Yeah,
But definitely use the network. Like there's guys that just jump on there and say, hey, I'm working on this. I've run into this issue while I'm working on my bike. What could this be, or how could I fix this? And he'll have 40 something comments, 50 something comments of mechanics that are on the page that know what he's talking about, and they'll start giving him the right options and sending links and doing all those other things. Hey, just private message me. We'll talk about it, or I'll show you. Maybe I'll come down and see it. Like, it's such a great network that we've been able to build, and it's based off that just camaraderie. It's awesome. So
just so you know, your network right now is reaching every portion of the country and outside the country. Like HD Travelers in Texas, DDK, he's in Tennessee. Corey's up in Massachusetts. Two Wheel Therapies here in Connecticut. It's just your organization tonight is reaching all over the country, which
that's awesome.
I think is great. And outside the country, because I have a couple people that jump on and are from Australia and England and Canada. Angel Face Rider, she's from Canada, and she's on here watching. So nice. Your organization is reaching international right now, which is awesome.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Dog on a Hog, he's out in the North Midwest. I think he's over by Oregon right now. So he's out in the West Coast. So we're going coast to coast tonight.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yep. Daniel's in Southwest Minnesota. Gremlin's down in Georgia. It's
so great riding down in Georgia.
Oh, absolutely. There's great riding everywhere. I just, just got to know where to look for it. Like Bear Mountain Expressway in New York. That's some great riding.
Yeah. Scary riding, but great riding.
Yeah. No scarier than, actually it's less scarier than riding the tail of the dragon.
Well, true.
Well, Ray, you can talk about your tail.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Let's hear it.
So
Northwest
Indiana. Years ago.
Nice.
Northwest Indiana, behind Rudy's Fairing.
Canada.
Canada, Moto Noggin. Awesome.
Actually.
So a couple years ago, I wanted a lot of my focus too, besides the network, has been just promoting riding in the area and things like that. I mean, I live in a small town at the foot of the Catskill Mountains called Saugerties. And I was home of Woodstock 94. So we were famous for a little short period of time. Actually, we're right next to probably one of the most famous towns in the world, which is Woodstock. So I live right next to Woodstock. Whoops. And we wanted to really promote some of the riding in this area. So I worked with Dale Handel from Blackthorn Resort in Catskill Mountain Thunder. And Dale and I came up with an idea of promoting something in that region that was close to Blackthorn Resort. And after doing a little riding out there, I came up with a 25-mile loop with some really great roads and some really nice lookouts. And it's called the Cat's Tail. So the Cat's Tail is, you can find it. It's got its own Facebook page. You can find it on the Greene County Tourism in their magazines and stuff like that. But it's online. It's becoming pretty popular. People are enjoying it. It actually starts at Blackthorn Resort and goes out about, like I said, it's a 25-mile loop, so it's about 12 miles out. But it goes right up Slide Mountain and around, and just got some of the most amazing views. It's about 4 or 5 state view from up there. And if you go to the Cat's Tail Facebook page, you'll see some of the views and things like that from some of the groups that I've led up there. But yeah, it's a great ride.
So I'm staying at the Blackthorn Resort in September for Catskill Mountain Thunder. So let me know when that ride is, and I will definitely come ride with you.
So you just have to call me, and I will take you on a private guided tour of the Cat's Tail.
I'll be there. I'm going to be. Let me. I believe I booked the whole. Let me bring up my calendar. That's September. I'm going to be there from the 14th, the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th.
Yep. So I will definitely see you, and we will. I will take you on a ride. There's a couple of rides out there too. There's another one. It goes through an area called Hunter's Land, and we take people up there. We ride up this hill, pull to the side of the road, and look back. It is a 360-degree view. It's absolutely amazing. It's just like a panoramic cinematic type view. And that's a pretty amazing ride too, but that's a little bit longer. So,
Hey, I'm riding up from Connecticut. I ride in Gettysburg for Bike Week. We've ridden last year during the same time as Catskill Mountain Thunder is Ocean City Bike Week.
yeah.
And I was invited to go up last year, but I already had my reservations at Ocean City. So I told them I can't do it this year. Definitely do it next year, which is now. So I'm doing it this year. I ride Laconia all the time.
Yeah.
I ride to as many rallies as I can. I've no shame in saying I've trailered to Myrtle Beach every time I went. No shame in that. I ridden the Softail to Sturgis and back. So,
I have two bikes. So the other bike I just recently purchased in September. So I have never had a touring bike.
Okay.
I finally got the Street Glide. I broke down because, like I said, I ride a V-Rod. That's my baby. And I can get about 100 miles or so out of a tank, and it's not the most comfortable bike to ride long trips. Did go to West Virginia with it last year, and we put what did we do? We did about 500 miles. No, one day was 300. We did close to 600 miles in 2 days. 2 days of riding down there. And she did great, but the roads down there are so much different than they are up here.
Yeah.
Everything is, the roads are banked. So you go into a turn and, curve.
There's no potholes.
There's no potholes. No, my gosh. And people travel, you got a car in front of you and it's doing 80 miles an hour. And it's like, okay, you don't have to pass it,
Right.
And if they're going slower, they just pull over to the side of the road and let you by. So
now, if you ever ridden in Florida,
you know what? I went down to Daytona for the last couple of years, and I went down and hung out with the guys from Dale and Roy and a bunch of the guys from Catskill Mountain Thunder, the crew, and we were gonna ride, and it rained, and I didn't ride down or bring a bike, so I didn't get to ride any other time. So unfortunately I didn't get to ride when I was down there.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if you're going up 95 in Florida, if you're not doing 95, you're going to get run over.
Yeah.
Seriously, by old women in Prius.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to say that.
If you're on I-4 and you're doing less than 90, you're going to get run over by the same old lady in a Prius.
That's awesome.
I went from Orlando to New Smyrna Beach in under 30 minutes, just keeping up with traffic.
Wow.
And that was just keeping up with traffic. I thought that was awesome. I'm sitting there going, back home, I'd be considered a maniac riding like this. Here, I'm just keeping up with traffic. This is awesome.
Yeah.
For my next trip to Orlando, I started passing people.
I saw that. I rode from New York to San Antonio one year, and I left on my Road King, and I came back on my Ultra Classic.
Now,
Actually, I got down to this place I'd never heard of before. It's called Chunky River, Mississippi. And I get down to this area, and there's a Harley dealer nearby, and my bike was acting up. It was making clicking and clanging. There were pieces that my right floorboard actually fell off at one of the rest areas. So it was horrible. And so I said, I got to get this bike over to Harley. I'm afraid it's going to break down on this trip. So we get it over to Harley. The Harley's going to close in like an hour and a half. And I was like, listen, is there anything that you can do quickly to get me back on the road? He goes, no. Honestly, no, I can't. He goes, I'm going to need this bike for at least a couple of days in order just to get all the parts that you need, can tensioners and all this other stuff that you need. I was like, geez. I said, you know what? Just keep it. I'll get another one. I went to the showroom. I grabbed one of the ladies. I said, listen, I need a bike. I need it now. I got to go. She goes, really? I said, yep, I got to go. So they had a manager special there. It was an Ultra Classic, that burnt Auburn, I think they call it, with a charcoal gray.
Yep. Nice bike.
And Yep, they had a manager special on it. It was a 15 leftover. I bought it in 16, and I ended up leaving that day for it. Leaving that day with it, and I finished the trip on it. It was the best trip on that bike. It was funny because right after I bought the bike, they brought the bike out to the parking lot, and I had the guys that I was riding with there, and so he's showing me the bike, and he's saying, listen, this, you got to be real careful. It's a lot different than your Road King. This bike is very big. It's got a lot of controls and stuff on it. This is where this is, and I get it. That's his job. He has to do that.
Yep.
And so I said, okay. He goes, listen, you maybe just want to take it out for a little test spin just to make sure you're comfortable with it. I said, yeah, no problem, not at all. So I jump on the bike and I roll out, and I immediately start doing these turns like on a dime, scraping the floorboards on these turns, do another figure eight the other way on a floorboard, I come back the other. He's looking at me with his hands up. He's like, what the hell is this? And the guys I was riding with goes, he's a motorcycle cop. Like that's what he does. He's like, oh, you could have saved me the introduction and to the whole bike. I said, nah, I'm just, you're doing your job. Man. I appreciate it. Yep. But no, Chunky River, Mississippi, those guys had a great deal.
That's awesome. Now, give you guys an idea. Moto Noggin rode his Sportster S. He's got one of those newer Sportster S.
Oh yeah,
he was like a year old. Mm-hmm. Took it from his house up there in Lake George to Daytona.
Ooh,
he rode it all the way down.
That's got to put a cramp in your neck at some point, right?
Actually, he said he wasn't that hurt, and
is he still on? Is he still on right now?
I don't know. Noggin, are you on? I tell you what, guys, we've been at this for an hour and 6 minutes, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the link out. So if anybody wants to come on and talk to Eddie or Ray, feel free to do so. Noggin, I think they're very interested to hearing about your story going to Daytona on your Sportster S. Like I said to you, nothing but respect for doing that.
Absolutely.
So there's the link if anybody wants to jump on. I do have a giveaway tonight that awesome. I want you two to help me how to figure out how I'm going to give this away. Now, what I have here is, have you seen the new giveaway Harley's doing? If you spend $300, you get a free backpack cooler bag with the 120th anniversary. Well,
I've not seen this. I
have one right here, still in plastic. I got two of them because I spent so much money up at the Harley dealer between dyno tuning and parts and things like that. But it's a nice cooler bag.
That's cool.
Nice.
It's a backpack.
Oh, wow.
So Noggin, if you want another backpack because you had to throw yours on the side of the road, we're giving this one away. If you guys could help me figure out how to select a winner tonight.
Oh.
When I get things like this for free, I tend to give them away.
Mm-hmm.
I got two. I don't need two. But I sat there, says, you want a second one? I said, absolutely. I'll give it away on my channel.
Nice.
Well, here is Moto Noggin coming right in. He's in Florida right now. What's up, Noggin?
There he is.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hold on.
Hey, what's up, man?
There we go. Now,
you can see him?
Hey, nice to meet you guys.
I can't see anything.
I
see Moto Noggin with a little swirl.
Fellow New Yorkers,
Nice.
That's great. I know where Saugerties is,
Yeah.
Yep.
So tell us about this trip from Lake George.
Hold on. Yeah. So basically, I kind of, I do live streams every Tuesday night, a lot like Dr.Harley, and I kind of talk a lot of shit, but
no.
About how fast the Sportster S is. And, I get a lot of these bagger guys going, when are you going to get a real bike? When are you going to get a real bike? That's a girl's bike. That's a bar hopper, right? So I tell them, I'm like, you can tour on any bike. So I told them, I said, I'm going to ride my bike from here to Daytona. They said, nobody says you can't do it. There's no way you can do it. So I did it.
You got to do it. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You got to do it. That's perfect.
And he did it every mile. I caught up with him in Maryland. And he was in front of our RV the whole way down or behind it. And, when we hit Georgia, he pulled off to get some gas. And we had a 40-gallon gas tank, so we weren't stopping every 120 miles. But, you know, he made it down to Florida on his sports arrest. And, you know, like I said to you in the beginning, if you make the trip, and you did, nothing but respect for doing it.
Absolutely.
Because you made a trip on a bike I wouldn't want to do it on.
I had how many? You can be honest too. Like how many bottles of aspirin did you take down? Getting down there?
I didn't take.
I'm sure your back was killing you, your neck.
Yeah, I didn't take aspirin, but I had this stuff, and I don't know if you guys watch Shade Tree Surgeon, and so he has this product called Cowboy Cure, and it's like an icy hot, and it has CBD in it, and and like he does a lot of cross country stuff, so he kind of came up with this, and I was kind of like, is this a gimmick? Like, should I buy it? But I bought it, and man, I'll tell you, dude, there's a couple times I went in the rest stop, dude. I just put that shit all over my ass, all over my tailbone, dude. And I get back on the bike, and I'm like, you know what? I can't feel it, so here we go.
That's great. That's good. That's a good promo for him too.
But yeah, I was definitely sore. I was moving around the seat. I was moving forward. I was moving back. I was sitting left. I was sitting right. I was just moving as much as I could. But I had a Corbin seat, and I swear by Corbin now. I don't think I'd buy another one, another seat, because Corbin they do a great job, and it's just funny how the seat kind of just
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's great. That's awesome, man. And you know what? You really couldn't complain. You had to prove these guys wrong. So I'm sure you were going to take all the pain and agony and just to prove these guys wrong. So that's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah, no, dude. Because I'm hey, dude, would I like a bagger? Yeah, but they're $30,000. Like, I bought my Sportster S for $15,000. It's got cruise control. It's got navigation. It's a great value, and it's 120 horsepower out of the box. And I'm trying to tell these guys, and they're like, it's a girl's bike. And I'm like, hold on. It's 120 horsepower. Like, wait a minute. You guys are like stage 3 to get there, So, and it's just funny. But it was all in good fun. And, I was really surprised at how many people like supported me. Like, I had people messaging me on Instagram being like, hey, dude, how you doing? Hey, if you're in Virginia, I'm here if you need something. Like, I had so many people checking on me.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I was blown away. I was like, holy crap. Like, people actually like, I don't know, check on me and stuff. So it was really great, man. But I'd do it again in a heartbeat. There's something about riding your motorcycle just solo, just you and your motorcycle, and just going on a trip, and just, if you break down, you break down. I mean, I don't know. Like, you guys probably know a little bit about it, but that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's about getting out there, man, just getting lost and just being free, and, whatever happens, right?
He actually got lost on 95.
Oh, he did.
In North Carolina. Do you want to elaborate?
Great shot.
Do you want to elaborate? You want me to elaborate since I opened the door?
No, so yeah, so I added that out, but in the video, but yeah, so I stopped somewhere, I got gas, and I mean, I was tired, dude. Like, I was definitely tired. I was feeling it, and so I got gas. I hopped back on 95, and I'm riding for about an hour. And, I called Dr.Harley, and I was like, hey, where are you guys? Because I know they were a little bit ahead of me. And he's like, oh, like, we just crossed into South Carolina or Georgia or something. And I'm like, and I'm looking at these signs, and I'm like, wait a minute, I feel like I've already been here, So I actually ended up getting back on 95 the wrong way.
Oh,
I started going north, dude, for like an hour before I realized it.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah, dude.
So,
like,
that's how you get lost on 95.
Yeah,
in all fairness, he was pretty worn out,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
goodness.
I was, dude.
Something to talk about, something to laugh about now. So that's a good story.
Yeah,
I feel so left out because I can't see any of this conversation. Hear any of it?
We can't
you
see
can't
it.
see it.
No.
Oh, are you on your phone?
No, I'm on a computer.
And the bubbles aren't popping up?
I see the bubbles, but
okay.
I don't see Moto Noggin on here. I just got a little death wheel going.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. I can't, unfortunately, I can't hear any of the conversation.
Well, I'm not that much to look at anyway, so you're not missing much. So, you know,
I'll have to watch the replay
consider yourself lucky.
to see what I missed.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Naga, these guys are an organization right in New York. It's a biker network. I think this is something you and Blue should really take, hold of. I'm actually, follow them on Facebook and stuff like that. And I met these guys here in Connecticut at an indoor motorcycle and car show and got to talk to them. And I was like, yeah, I got to get you guys on the channel, on the interview, my live podcast and everything. And they were all into it. And so here we are, was it 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago. And now here we are. We're talking about their event that's on the 29th of April. It's a motorcycle expo. Highly recommend everybody go if you can. Like I said, I already made a commitment to be in New Jersey, unfortunately, or I would definitely be there in support. I might get a hold of Eddie or Jay just to buy a couple tickets, even though I can't make it. This way it shows a little support for you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So
yeah, if you want to do something like that and buy tickets for somebody, and we'll put them at the door, and that way, somebody can come in and say, Dr. Harley, took care of my tickets for me, and we're here to enjoy the show. So,
yeah. So, yeah, that's awesome. Matter of fact, I might do that. If anybody wants to go on the 29th, and you definitely want to go, I will buy 2 tickets for you. And, I'll get the money to Eddie or Jay, and we'll get that taken care of and get it out there.
Very cool.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
So
I'm thinking about how to get rid of this bag for you, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking maybe that if we put on our page, on our Facebook page, that the first person, right? Or maybe we do like what do you think, Ray? The first person to respond to the link will get the bag, or do you want to do like the 10th person, or what do you want to do?
So, how do you want to do that, though? You want to open it up to our members or just Dr. Harley's audience? And then
Dr. Harley's audience here for tonight.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then I don't know that I have.
So we could do, I tell you what, the person who leaves the funniest comment.
Okay, there you go.
And us as a 4 as a panel will pick the funniest comment. Leave a funny comment. We'll pick the funniest comment, and that's who wins.
Nice. I was thinking the first person
See some pretty funny ones already come across.
The first person who spells Socrates right.
I'm going to do something here. Hopefully I don't lose you guys, but I'm going to try to just refresh this and see what happens.
If you get disconnected, you could click on the link again and get rejoined in.
Oh.
Yep, there he goes.
Yep.
It was funny. We were doing an interview one time in somebody else's podcast, and Ray was having some internet issues, so he was kind of breaking up a little bit. So he got frozen for a while, and then once he unfroze, the podcast guy, he goes, hey, Ray, I see that you're back. Why don't you make a comment or whatever? And right before Ray speaks, the stool that he was sitting on collapses and he falls out of the screen. we were laughing so hard after that. But he's always dealing with something on his end over there. So, yeah. This is what was it? I missed that one. Doc says
no, it doesn't include plane tickets, dog. That's funny. This one's funny.
There he is.
Oh, is that Moto Noggin?
That's who that is.
What's up, man?
Hey, I can see you now.
All right. Awesome, man.
Sorry I missed your whole talk before and how you got lost on I-95, but I'll watch the replay.
Yeah. There was, and that's the thing I think you gotta you know, when you travel on a motorcycle, like you have to realize like sometimes everything isn't going to go your way, and you got to be okay with like dealing with whatever comes your way. And that's what I love about it. It's like, you know, you don't know what's going to happen, and you got to be ready to deal with it, and it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can buy a used dresser, bagger, low miles, good shape with upgrades already for what you paid for that Sportster S.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, but then I look like a guy on a gold wing, so. I mean, if we're talking performance baggers, aren't gold wings faster than the Harleys? I mean, everybody tells me they are.
Oh, this thing
I'm
is
just
like...
saying.
That's funny.
Here we go.
Like leaving the shoes on the side of the road? Your favorite boots, Noggin?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't just my boots. I found out there was a lot more stuff in there too.
Like what?
So I got on the highway. I went about 2 exits, and I saw my backpack was like slipping off. It was a Harley backpack. So I pull over to the side of the road. I try to tighten everything up, you know, and as I'm tightening it, my backpack, like the strap of it, just breaks. And I'm like, all right. I try to figure out a way to, you know, and it's like 30 degrees and there's snow on the ground. And, you know, so I'm like, well, I'm going to have to leave the backpack here. So I empty the backpack, stuff it into what I can. I left my Harley shoes. I left my backpack. I left some aspirin. I left a 360 protective cover for my 360. Yeah, and various other items on the side.
It's like $1,000. That's more than $1,000 worth of stuff, probably right there.
No.
Don't tell his wife that you'll kill him.
Harley stuff alone.
Oh, look, it's my wife.
Oh, no,
Noggin lost nothing on the road.
$1,000.
Look, my wife's wearing my Dixon.
There you go.
Those are some really good clothes.
Yeah.
I'm freezing, so I need it.
And she delivered me. Oh, hold on, what I do? And she delivered me 2 more beers.
Two-wheel therapy, Confucius Day, man. And Puggy feel cunty all day.
There's some funny ones. I'm talking between that one and Evil Rick's, 2 Confucius ones.
The other one with man lay down with woman on land needs piece of on earth.
Yep.
There it is. Has peace on earth.
There's that one and this one.
As long as there's no fire ants.
Yeah.
Button it up.
Hello, Mrs. Noggin.
Hello.
So whereabouts in Florida are you guys vacationing?
We're in Kissimmee, Florida.
All right, near Orlando.
Yeah, which is west of Orlando. And we're down at the pool. And the weather's kind of been shitty down here. Like Doc Harley, when we were down here for Daytona, it was like 90 degrees, beautiful, hot. This week's been like cloudy and rainy, like in the 70s. It's kind of sucks, but
that's because it's not bike week.
Yeah, my daughter will not stop swimming. So our hotel's like right over here on our left, and it overlooks the pool. So she's always like, "Can we go to the pool? Can we go to the pool?" Like, hey, if you want to swim, you know, I wouldn't swim in this weather, but she's all for it. So
Nice.
have that.
Daniel, that's also funny.
That is a funny one.
We just see more butts.
My son lives down in Mount Dora, so he's not too far from there.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
And
it's beautiful down here. And like what you guys were talking about as far as riding down in Florida, and Dr. Harley was saying like, yeah, like 90 to 100 is like the normal speed here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then parts fall off. Sportster S is doing 100.
Yeah. 117.
Nice.
Yeah, mirror fell off, hit the road.
Pretty fast, huh?
Yeah, man.
So-
It shuts off at 138.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my lowrider S topped out at 142 on the dyno.
Woo.
Wow.
Yeah, that thing's a beast, though, man.
Yeah, it's 160 foot-pounds of torque at 150 horses.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That's not stock.
No. I took a crate 131 motor.
Yep.
And I took the whole valve train out of it and threw it in the garbage.
Oh, nice.
And then I built it the way I wanted to.
Uh-huh.
And the current exhaust and intake system I have is holding back the power in the bike. So I have a whole new exhaust system I got from Sawicki that came today.
Oh,
And I am sending out a throttle body to HPI, and I'm getting a 70 millimeter throttle body, intake runner, and ram air intake system. And that's going to be going out. So I'm going from 64 millimeters to 70 millimeters on the intake system. So hoping to still hit my goal of 150 horse at the tire.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It's a lot of horse.
Absolutely. It's a fun bike to ride.
now the pipe that the Sawicki pipe you went with, was that the catted version or no? Because I saw Blockhead did a video on that, and that thing was like freaking shooting flames out of it like a freaking jet engine.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, why put a cat on it if you don't have to, right?
I like Corey's comment here. Confucius says 2 wrongs don't make a right, but 2 rights make a U-turn.
Make you turn. That's good.
That's some good, funny comments there.
You have no idea what's going on, dude.
Yeah,
Cherokee.
the catted pipe was like $300 more.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't. Why put it on if you don't have to? I mean,
No, Connecticut doesn't do emissions or inspections on motorcycles, so
Oh, New York is ridiculous.
Yeah.
yeah,
You're
the communist
cracking
state
on
of
that.
New York does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do it anyway, though. Like, who cares? I don't even inspect my bike. I never got pulled over because I didn't have an inspection on my bike. So let them catch me.
Yeah, until America.
So Eddie shared a screenshot of what we were doing to our group, right? Not our network, but just our team members, because we have a private chat for our team members. And one of the comments that one of the fellows made was, "I hope Ray doesn't fall off his chair." So Eddie and I did
I told him already.
Oh yeah, we did a live not too long ago, and I broke a bar stool I was sitting on my tables and fell right on my ass during it. It was great. Man who messed with girl during wrong period get caught red-handed.
I think we got a winner.
ding, 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 ding. Yep, we got a winner.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh yeah.
2-wheel therapy. You are now just won the cooler backpack, the 120th anniversary version from Harley Davidson. It is all yours.
That's
Get a
awesome.
hold of me. I know you're local. We can meet up, but you can do a handoff exchange if you want. You could just send me your address. I can mail it to you.
That was good. That made us all laugh.
Yeah, that one was good. That was good.
Oh boy.
Yep. I say that all the time. Let's see.
After
yeah.
rep 400, yeah, I was telling you my quick release.
Yep.
This has definitely been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
5 years.
I'm glad you guys came on. Hopefully, we raised some awareness for your foundation, which I think is a great foundation. I think you guys are doing some amazing work with, helping fellow bikers and the community, and building your own community within a community, which is amazing. And that I thank you for.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you for helping us get this word out. We're here to help promote the entire biker community, and that includes you guys too. You guys doing your podcast, Motor Noggin, your podcast. I can't wait to see what you guys got going on Tuesdays. So let's keep in touch. Let's keep doing this.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, definitely.
So Ray, Eddie, I'll get a hold of you. on the side, and I'll definitely be, getting you some money. Let me know how you want to do it, and I'll get you the $20 for 2 tickets. If you want to give them to a veteran and his spouse, or that would be great.
All right, yeah, we can work something out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. And
So-
and hopefully, I'm not hoping for rain, but if you can make it this year, it'd be great to have you.
If it rains in Jersey and it's super sunny in New York, that's the scenario we want.
I'll be in New York.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it.
That's good. And even if you can't do it this year, there's always going to be next year. So
Absolutely.
yeah, we got to get Moto Noggin over there too. Make sure you
Yep.
come down from Lake
Yep.
George area.
Yep.
Hell
and
yeah.
I'll be up at Catskill Mountain Thunder, and yeah, we're definitely going riding. Now I need to bounce out here for a quick minute, guys. I'm sorry I keep doing this to you. Just give me a minute.
Sure. So he said you're part of the Lake George area. What part exactly?
Yeah, so like north of you guys, like pretty much, I live in Queensbury, Lake George area.
Yep.
Southern Adirondacks, which like what you guys are saying, like, when you come down here and like you tell people from New York, they're like, oh, from the city? And it's like, no. Like we're from like the nice part of New York.
Yeah.
Where there's mountains and there's nice roads and there's so much good riding. So in the Adirondacks there's great riding, and I know in the Catskills there's great riding too.
Yeah.
So,
We go up to the Adirondacks and ride quite frequently. One of the guys in our group that's actually on our team, he's got a motorhome, and we'll go up and ride 2-3 days in the Adirondacks.
nice.
gotta-
Yeah, it's beautiful up there.
Yeah. We were looking at doing an event up there at it's right at the end of Lake George. It's a big conference center place, whatever. It's a cabin. No, what's it called?
Is it the Holiday Inn?
No. It's
No.
like it's not a resort. It's more of a, they do events and stuff like that there.
A conference center in Lake George.
It's not even a conference center. It's a, my gosh. I spoke to the guy couple of years ago after they had that terrible accident there.
Oh,
And,
yeah, the Americade.
In Americade,
Yeah.
after they had the accident.
Yeah, we're right
gonna-
where the Americade is.
What's that?
We are right where the Americade is.
Yeah, no, I know where Queensbury is and all that. I know where you guys are.
Right.
We
I think
go up there
you're
quite a bit.
I think you're talking about the cabin where the Eagle Flyer is. The zip lining. It used to be a dude ranch, right?
I think so.
Yes.
Where Mom promised.
Yeah, where Mom promised. That event center. That would be a great venue because there's plenty of parking for bikes. And they're very bike friendly there, so that would be great.
Yeah, I was speaking to the gentleman there. The barn at French Mountain. The barn.
Yes, the barn at French Mountain. Yes, that's
Yeah.
it.
So
That's
we had talked to them about doing an event. We were going to do a fundraiser to raise money for the family of the one that had gotten killed there.
Yeah.
So, but all of a sudden it was like, boom, everybody was doing something. We were like, okay, we don't have to, we'll support in other ways. But yeah, that was a great venue. And they were very, very willing to work with a biker organization. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. So
Yeah. So you guys are out of Hudson Valley. So do you have a big group?
a little over 11,000.
Holy crap! Whoa, 11,000?
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's-
I had no idea.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the following that we have on our Facebook page, and then we also have we have our website as well, so we see the insights on that. So we're getting thousands of hits on that as well.
We have over 100. I think it was 119,000 views on our Facebook page last month.
Nice,
So-
nice. That's awesome, man. You guys are killing it. Man.
Yeah,
Wow.
we're having a lot of fun. But we've been doing this a long time. You know,
Yeah.
we've Eddie started the page in 09. I jumped on board in 2011, and it's been just hammering it the whole time. But the thing is that whenever anybody sees anything that is associated with our organization, they know it's going to be a quality event, or that it's going to be something that they can go to and not, worry about things, So
Yeah.
And bring your kids to.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the other good
That's
thing.
awesome. That's awesome, man. I definitely will follow the page. I'll definitely have to hook up with you guys at some point, and we'll definitely do some riding. And
Yeah.
if you ever need a point of contact up north, just get at me, and I can do whatever to help you guys out.
Awesome. Yeah, I know. I know there's a couple of groups that are up out of that area that are growing pretty big too, up in your area there. So, do you work with any of those groups that are up there? Or you
Not
mostly-
really, man. I'm not really on Facebook that much.
Okay.
Pretty much just do the YouTube thing, and that's how I kind of, just building my channel. But I do ride with some, different motorcycle clubs, and then RCs, MCs that will do charity events. So I usually show up to them, ride for a good cause, and have a good
Yeah.
time. So a little bit of that, but no groups really.
Okay. Yeah, that was one of my
Just
goals.
so you
for
guys
last year
know,
was- Oh,
just so you guys know, when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm giving away a camshaft to the choice of whoever wins it. They get to choose the cam, and I will order it, pay for it, and ship it directly to that person. Now we are 35 subscribers away from hitting that 1,000 mark.
hey, maybe we could get some. We have a network of people. Maybe we could get you some subscribers.
That'd be great. That would be great. Feel free to share out all the videos you want. They're available for sharing if you want to. I mean, a lot of it is doing stuff in the garage. Sometimes it's as simple as a 3-hole oil change, all the way up to a motor swap, to handlebars, how to internal wire your handlebars. I do rallies and moto vlogs and dealer visits and riding reviews of bikes. Like I did a review of the live wire.
Yeah.
And next week I'm going to be doing a demo ride. So I'm going to be taking a lot of the 2023 bikes out. Like one of the ones I'm going to take out is a Pan American, and then the Sportster S, and do a ride review of those bikes.
Awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I know that.
Live wire. How was that?
Well, for a in-town city bike, I think it's a great bike. When I jumped on it, I had 3/4 of a charge left on it, and it said 75 miles remaining. Now, if you guys ride like me, 100 miles is, the first half of your day.
Exactly.
And you're not going to want to stop and try and find a place to charge your bike so you can get home, or limit your riding area to, 40 miles, because you want to have at least a little reserve on battery charge to get home. So it has a lot of great torque, and the different ride modes are awesome, but the battery life just doesn't do it for me. They say 130 miles on a full charge, but I do simple math.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that's based on temperature and a lot of different variables too. So you don't always get that whatever that mile says. It's not accurate.
No.
We I ran into Wayne yesterday at I was up in Albany at Cycle Gears bike night, and Wayne from GT Toys was there, and he had the live wires there. And actually, honestly, I didn't even know it was a live. I didn't know it was an electric bike. It looked like a regular,
Yeah.
It was like, wow, this is electric. And then when I looked at it good, then I realized, yeah, it is electric. But there's a possibility that they're coming to the expo with some live wires. So
Excellent.
good to see.
Excellent. You know, like I said, for a city bike, they're great. They have their place like the smart cars did, which really didn't last that long.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if a real enthusiast or a real biker would want to, you know, buy something like that and be limited. Now, I would have, if someone gave me one for free, I'd take it back and forth to work a couple days a week, you know, and leave it plugged in so it's always charged. You know, it's, you know, 17 miles one way to work. So there's a couple days I could just take it to work and back and not have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I haven't figured how many miles I'm getting out of a tank of gas yet on my lowrider S, but I'm sure it's not the 160 miles I was getting with its stock motor, you know?
Yeah, no.
I'm figuring maybe about 100 miles out of a tank of gas.
I watched an episode of Riding with Norman Reedus, and they went to the live wire factory in California, and they were riding them, and it looked pretty cool, you know. I don't know. I think it's one of those things. I've driven electric cars, and you kind of poo-poo it at first until you get in it and you drive it, and you're like, "Holy cow, this thing is fast!" You know,
just DC motors, nothing but torque.
Yeah, and it's got. I've not ridden an electric bike yet, but the other thing I've heard is that these pedal bikes that are electric and stuff, they say they're a blast to ride, and they're using those a lot at the motocross races and stuff now instead of the little pit bikes.
Yep,
You know,
I did a riding review of the one motorcycle, which is the one bicycle, which is an electric assist bicycle by Harley Davidson.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, I got that thing up to about 25, 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And it cooks. And when I hit a hill and I put it on full assist, it was like nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't even break a sweat. And I took it on a half-mile loop. I was like, this is awesome. Hey, Chris Venus, welcome. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to this year. I'm going to a lot of events this year. And as you know, you've heard, I'm also going to be in Milwaukee for the 120th anniversary party.
Oh, nice.
Yep. I'm going to be down in Gettysburg the week before the 120th. So I'm going to Gettysburg, come back, reset the luggage, and we're flying out to Milwaukee. And come back from that. And then in September, we'll be up in Catskill Mountain Thunder. I'm looking forward to that. Never put that.
Mm-hmm. Been going to that for years. Great event.
Yeah. I heard about it last year, and I got invited to go, and I couldn't do it. So I said, I'll do it, 2023. So earlier this year, I booked my hotel room at the Blackthorn because I understood they book quick for that week. And she's like, yeah, I only got like 2 rooms left.
Nice.
So I got my room at the resort.
So
they're bringing back the burnout thing, right?
They do that every year.
Did they do it last year too?
The aerial pit? Yeah, the burnout? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't think they had it last year. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that thing.
So when is it? What are you guys doing an event for your group?
Yeah, we are. It's our next event is our annual motorcycle expo. That's going to be on April 29th from 11 to 6 in Poughkeepsie. We have the flyers. We can post them. If you just go to our Facebook page or our website, hvbikers.com, you'll see all the information there. You can buy the tickets right online. We're actually pushing people to buy the tickets online. We will accept credit cards at the table, but just for faster, to move the line faster at the expo, we're really pushing for people just to use their cards to get in and stuff like that. Because figuring out the cash and stuff is going to be a lot. And then and you can always pre-purchase the tickets online. So the event's going to have a ton of stuff, and It's indoor, outdoor events, rain or shine, food trucks, motorcycle demos, vendors, live music, stunt riders. You got electric bike for kids. You got the inflatables. You got, salute to veterans. And this is all for our
and we
fundraiser.
We have about, 60 vendors?
About that, yeah.
Wow,
60 vendors.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody's all obviously motorcycle related vendors. We did have Anderson Windows contact us, wanted to be there. We said, no, thank you.
Yeah.
We don't need your money. And so, yeah, you get some strange requests, but yeah, no, it's we got Kyle Sliger, who's one of the top 5 stunt riders in the world, is going to be there. So
Nice.
it's
Nice.
going to be a good time.
I'll definitely check that out, man. Buy a ticket and go to that. It sounds like a great time.
It's going to be a blast.
Awesome. Hey, it was nice meeting you guys. I'm gonna pop off here because I'm at the pool and.
Yeah, man, go enjoy that.
Enjoy your family.
I'm just chilling, but I wanted to come on because you guys are New Yorkers and Doc kind of brought you on and you sound like awesome guys and you have an awesome group, so I'll definitely check it out and look forward to.
So I just want to say this real quick, Noggin, before you get off. Mrs. Noggin, he
Yes.
definitely married outside of his class.
Thank you. I agree.
Well, you should have seen what she did. You did it like, I paid a lot of money to get her to look like this.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, not really. Not really.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
How are you getting back? Are you flying back? Because you might be walking, buddy.
I want to ride my sports dress back because I got it down here, but
Oh, nice.
Drive.
she's making me drive and trailer it back. But I want to ride it back.
Oh.
Nice. Just make sure you got that icy hot with the hemp in it.
Oh, dude,
CBD or whatever.
man. That shit works.
Nice.
That shit works, man. So I'll catch you guys later.
All
Very
right.
good, Noggin. Thanks for coming in.
Yep.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
So Evil Rick is funny. He says should have a drive-through display with Anderson.
With the Anderson windows. Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be
Yeah, it's funny.
hilarious.
It's funny because I get why they're reaching out is because they're already going to be set up for the home show. They do a big home show. They for home improvement related stuff the week before. So they're having their big event the week before. So they're kind of already set up for
Right.
a trade show or an expo type style. So I see why they're reaching out.
They're trying to get a 2 for
We
1.
just really wanted to focus on having motorcycle related vendors there first. Give them the priority, and we sold out. So there really is no more room for anybody else.
Excellent.
Yeah. We could have told Anderson Windows, sure, you can have a booth, but it's not going to be the one you're in right now. We're going to move you.
Outside
Yeah.
in the back corner where nobody goes next to the porta potties.
That's one thing we didn't bring in. Hopefully we don't have a bathroom situation.
That's it. We still got time. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we still have time. We may just have to bring in some porta johns. I think we're going to wind up with a huge crowd. So
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are missing that progressive show. Went from New York City and Manhattan down to Pennsylvania and then done. I don't think progressive is doing it anymore. And
Send them on parlay. We'll take them.
yeah, and they used to do a lot of people through the doors at Jacob Javits.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I went through that for years.
Yeah,
I remember.
I never made it there. Never made it.
I went to that for years. You saw a lot of great motorcycles. All the manufacturers were there. Had a lot of great vendors. I always walked out with a bunch of stuff.
yeah, same here.
A few years they had some stunt shows. They had dirt bikes flying through the air. They had stunt shows very similar to what we're doing. What we're doing differently is we're bringing in music. We're bringing in the entertainment, that music entertainment piece. We're also doing the food truck idea. That was one of the things when I went to Jacob Javits. Like I was hungry and I wanted to eat. They just had, they had basic like hot dogs and the pretzel and maybe some popcorn or something like that.
Go to a street vendor and get a dirty water dog, and
you'll have enough to eat at our event. If you come hungry, you definitely leave full. So so just it's very similar. Again, we wanted to focus more on local and getting really the Hudson Valley really is full of amazing groups, organizations, companies, dealerships. Like there's so much to really exploit in the Hudson Valley, and we're happy that we're able to do that for everybody. So
that is. I think that's awesome.
Just to give you an idea, like some of the vendors that we have a lot of talented builders and things in the area. Couple of the shops. One guy's name is Evan Favaro. Evan was on he was part of the OCC team, the Orange County Choppers team, and he was one of their fabricators. He was on the TV show for a number of years, worked with Rick Petco and Penco and stuff like that. And then
Vinny and
Vinny DiMartino. Yeah. And Evan will be there. He's got a shop called Speakeasy Motors. Yeah. And he's got some really cool builds. So he'll be there. I know that like one of the things he did was he built this really cool bike, and it caught the eye of Pink, the singer. Mm-hmm. And she decided, she was like, "How much for the bike?" He's like, "It's not for sale." She's like, "How much for the bike?" And he wound up selling it to her. So one of his pieces went to her, and then so he'll be there. We got Eastside Speed Shop will be there. That's a local speed shop. They're big into the performance Harley culture. So
right up my alley.
Yep. And then I'm trying to think of whom else we got there. We got Motorhead is going to be there.
Iron Anchor's.
And all these shops, they all have their, like Shep from Iron Anchor. He was a Porsche mechanic, like a Porsche guy, technician for years, and then got into motorcycles and then opened up a motorcycle shop. So they come from a world of performance, and all these shops, they all have dynos,
Was Shep part of the Porsche performance? I thought that was Motorhead.
No, I thought Shep was was Shep?
I think it was Motorhead that was part of the Porsche performance.
Pink's husband is Kerry Hart. He's an awesome motocross guy.
Shep worked for actually Harley Davidson in Milwaukee. He was up there for a while.
Oh, that's right. So it's Motorhead that was the Porsche.
Yeah. And Shep worked for Harley for a while. He came back and he started his own shop, and he's been doing great. Fantastic.
Yep. So and then besides the other vendor, I mean, a lot of vendors will have have gear and stuff like that, but a lot of shops. We got Rolling Thunder Audio out of New Jersey is coming. They're a huge motorcycle audio company. And then we've also got CC Sounds, another audio company that's out of Hopewell Junction area out of New York. So it should be interesting because we got two opposing audio companies that want to do demos. So when people come by, and then we got the band, and then all this stuff whilst there's going to be a volleyball tournament going on behind us, because that's why we weren't able to get the whole facility, because they had it rented out to a volleyball organization that is having a tournament at the same time. And it's going to be hysterical because we put a 20 by 24, we had a portable stage, 20 by 24 stage going on the opposite side of this, like you can't see through it, but it's a net. So there's no wall in between us and the volleyball. And it's going to be just so loud, and they're going to hate us by the time we're done.
We told them though. I feel bad. Like, do they know what's coming? And she goes, they were told and they're okay with it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right.
So,
I'm going to tear the roof off this place. I hope they're ready.
Oh, I'm sure you will. And, now I'm really sorry I'm missing it.
And then we hired a film crew to come out, and they actually did a video. There's if you go under our media section on our website, there's a video. What's the name of the video? Why We Ride, right? So Why We Ride, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Or We Ride or something. But it's basically a video that we had done to kind of the backstory on the organization and stuff like that. But they'll be there. They're gonna do some promo stuff for us for next year's event. So we definitely need a lot of people because we want big crowds, things like that. So but they'll be filming. Like I said, the motorcycle channel will be there. So they'll be filming Lady Bike Builder, an episode of that.
Nice.
Trying to think of what else we got going on.
Ton of stuff. He's got to come out and see it.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Sounds like a great time. Sounds like you got so much packed in that maybe you might want to think about stretching it over 2 days. Do a Saturday and Sunday.
We talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if
as we grow in the future, there's a good possibility we could go to a 2-day event, but
it's a lot of work. I know on you guys.
Well, it's also a lot of work for the local shops and stuff. It's one thing when you have manufacturers bringing teams out and that's what they do. But this is, we're asking these guys to come out on a Saturday, which is, in April, which is their busy season.
Yep.
And that's the other thing too. We were a little nervous at first. We were like, well, we're going to move it to April. And it's like everybody getting their bikes ready and the shops are full and, and we didn't have to beg anybody to come. It was like, as soon as they found out, they were like, I'm in. It was like, because they had such a great experience last year with the event we did. This year, it was like, they were like, yeah, what do we got to do? We need a booth. We need 2 booths. We need, so.
Yep. And it really speaks to just the bikers in our region, like when somebody commented, they said like, when you guys had your event, this wasn't like some amateur night. These were real bikers that were showing up. Like these are guys who ride,
right.
And to come out and obviously they didn't ride in the snow blizzard. Actually, we had one guy who did. He rode out in the snow blizzard. But people for almost 1,300 people to come out in the middle of a snow blizzard and make that event what it was. It really speaks to the community that we have.
And Eddie. A snow blizzard is not 4 inches of snow, by the way.
What's that?
I said a snow blizzard is not 4 inches of snow. You Westchester area people, you get a little bit of snow and you go, a snow blizzard is what we got. We got almost a foot of snow. We got between.
We got a foot of snow. Okay. All right,
we got about 8 to 10 inches of snow. That 4 inches.
We got a lot of snow. We got a lot of snow. So, but for 1,300 people.
Brings up a good point. It says might bring more people in and more vendors.
Yeah.
If it's 2 days, makes it worthwhile for them to travel.
True.
So you guys want to keep it local stuff too, but you never know. I mean, you might attract people like, Clockworks, Brian Clock and his the Windshield King.
Yeah.
For baggers. I met Brian down in Daytona. Great dude. You never know who you could bring in,
Correct.
Definitely something to look into. I mean, we did talk about it, and it's it's probably something that we could probably do next year, depending on what we see this year. If we see that we turn this place upside down this year, then definitely look at possibly doing a 2-day or next year. But
I can tell you
it
right
really
now,
depends on the biker community to really come out and support it.
Yeah, it's just going to grow and grow. Year after year, because you're adding more and more stuff every year to make it better and better. That the word's getting out, people are seeing it and want to come.
Yeah. Our goal is to have an event that people will talk about all year long. That's our goal.
Yeah.
And as long as we throw a good party, people will talk about it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I still talk about the time I had it down in Ocean City last year. I still talk about Gettysburg. I still talk about Daytona this year because I had such a great time at all those events.
Yep.
So, unfortunately, I won't be going back to Gettysburg this year because I committed to some people that I would be up at Catskills. But I'm not Sorry, I'm going to be at Catskills. I'm actually excited. It's the first time me ever going there to the Catskills. Never mind that rally, but it's also a new rally for me.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, I'm tired of Laconia.
I've never been to Laconia, and I'm going for the first time this year, and it's the 100th, so I gotta go.
I mean, I'm going to be there I'm going to be at Laconia Harley Davidson and down on Wears Beach on the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
On the 13th, I'm going to be at the Raceway, which is Loudon, New Hampshire Raceway.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be down there on that day. But I mean, you go down to Wears Beach, it's 100 vendors selling the same T-shirt for the same price, and every now and then you'll see a jewelry vendor or a knife vendor, and that's it. That's Wears Beach.
Yeah, I've been to Laconia a few times. I ride out there by myself. I just take off in the morning. It's about a 3-4 hour ride up there. I park my bike at the top. I stop in one of the stores right there, grab something to eat, have something to drink. I walk the strip, and you're right. It's a lot. It's a lot of the same stuff kind of going down. I try to spread it out because I know but I know also that if I buy at a few of the first vendors, I know that I'm going to see them again later on, or if I miss something, I know I'm going to see something else again. I mean, I like it. It is a good event. It attracts a ton of people. I've met a ton of people up there. The events down on the other side of when you cross the street, you get to that other area, live music and all this other stuff. I mean, it is a good event. I mean, I enjoy riding up there just to kind of walk it real quick and then I'm out.
The riding up there is
that's what it's about. It's about the riding. Yeah.
The riding up there is phenomenal. Now, like I said, I'm a rally whore. I love the rallies. I love talking to the vendors. I love seeing what they got. I like spending money on my bikes. I mean, that's one of my favorite things to do. I mean, I spent a ton of money at Rick Rack down in Daytona on custom dynamics lights.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's what I like to do. When I save my money all year, so this is what I want to do. This is how much I need, and I'll save it to go. And, just when I go to Laconia, it's just like, okay, Laconia Harley Davidson's got all the vendors I want to see. And Wears Beach really doesn't have much. And there's some cool vendors down at the Raceway.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have like Sounds Music at the Raceway. Last year they had Iron Braid down there. Harley Davidson had their trailer set up out there doing demo rides and things like that. So, I mean, that's the only reason why I go to Laconia. And I'm just tired of it. I've been going to Laconia for God knows how many years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, it's like if you lived in Orlando, went to Disney World every year. I mean, it becomes like, oh, gosh, Disney World again. Now it's like that for me for Laconia. Great, Laconia is coming up. Okay,
yeah,
I guess I'll go. But it being the 100th year, that's why I said I'll go. And last year, I was totally let down by Laconia.
Mm-hmm.
I really was. The rally was, the vendors were kind of lame. There wasn't a lot of them. The drive-in movie theater is usually packed with vendors. They only had one row. So it's just like, and I get it. One of my friends owns Sanity Jewelry out of Grant, Florida, and he normally goes to Laconia. It's where I met him at first, and he didn't go last year because of the cost of fuel.
Yeah.
And I get it, and that's why a lot of people didn't go last year, I think. But we'll see what happens this year. And yeah, I know it's the 100th. I know everybody's going to be there because it's the 100th.
Yeah,
it's the oldest rally in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh no, the one out in California, I think, is running longer. What is that one? Oh, I can't remember the name of it. But it doesn't matter. But it's one of the oldest ones. Hey, Snake Venom, welcome.
Still got quite a few people on there, huh?
Absolutely, man. My life.
They're not sick of us yet.
Going to 6 hours is my longest live.
Really?
Oh, wow.
We won't be going that long tonight. Would you believe we've been on now for 2 hours and 4 minutes?
Wow.
I believe it because I see the little clock up in the corner.
But it goes by fast.
Yeah. I was like, wow, I figured this was going to be like 10, 15 minutes. 2 hours later, we're like, wow.
I told you we're gonna get you out here. We're gonna talk about your organization. We're gonna talk about your event. We're gonna talk about everything you guys got going on, and
Awesome.
get you up there. Now, are you guys having a booth up at the Catskills?
I had a booth there last year. Generally, we do have something there. We have some sort of presence. Like I said, I've known. I'm good friends with Dale and Roy and Patty, so usually we do something with them. Last year, what we did was I led rides of the Cat's Tail.
Mhm.
So we had people sign up, and then I'd lead them up there and do a lead ride of the other thing. And then what I do too sometimes down here is with our group is we'll put it out and we'll do a breakfast and a ride. So I do a Cat's Tail run. We meet up in my hometown. It's about a 20, 25 mile ride to Blackthorn from here. And we take, I got a really nice route that I take people out on. It's a great route. And then we go out there, we have a breakfast at Blackthorn. And then I take them on the Cat's Tail. And then
Nice.
after that, they can go on their way and do whatever they want. Usually they'll stay in the area and kind of ride.
Well, I already have breakfast at the Cat though. Since I'm staying there. Yeah, the weather is really improved out here, Snake Venom.
Today was
in the
about
mid-70s.
88 degrees today here in New York.
Yep, it was in the high 70s today. And of course, I took Project Spaceball to work. I'll be taking it to work again tomorrow. Okay. Windrow's going to ask Corey if he's ridden Mount Washington. I've driven Mount Washington. I'm not going to ride Mount Washington.
I'm looking forward to it. I heard they repaved the top, though.
Yeah, my problem is you go through all 4 seasons on the way up.
That's what I heard. I heard to bring a jacket because you start at 90 degrees and you end at 30.
Yep. Last time I was at the top of Mount Washington, the clouds were so low that an umbrella didn't help with the rain because you were literally in the rain. In the rain cloud. And yeah, you got wetter under an umbrella because it just came down from the inside of the umbrella. It's horrible.
That we had that happen one time. So what was it? Hurricane Sandy, right? Was it Hurricane Sandy? The one that came through Prattsville and stuff up on the mountain. I think it was
I think it was Sandy, yeah.
Yeah. So we wound up
traveling.
Eddie and I did a ride. We put together, and it was like we brought people up. We met down here and brought people up to where the devastation was. And I mean, it was amazing to see because you just can't fathom what happened in the floods and stuff from that hurricane. And this whole town got decimated, Prattsville, New York. And it's kind of ironic because you sit there and it's like at the top of the mountain. How does the top of the mountain flood? Well, there's streams and everything up there. And I mean, the roads washed out, houses got ripped off their foundations. It was absolutely insane. So we took a group, I don't know how many of us were there, probably 25, 30 people or so. And we went up the mountain, and it was in October, towards the end of October. And it was pretty warm when we left, but we wound up getting rained on, and then it snowed. Well, first it snowed, then we got up there, and then it rained. And on the way down, we were able to, it got sunny again, so we were able to dry off on the way down. But it was like 3-season ride. It was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But
Connecticut, when we get a hurricane right along the shore, houses get torn up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And, towns get decimated, roads get washed out. And, hurricane devastation to me is just like, oh, great, another cleanup.
Yeah.
It's like living in Florida with hurricanes. It happens all the time.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yeah. So we've had some good events over the years, some good rides.
Excellent.
One of the organizations that we've been able to partner up with that will be at the expo is this fella. He's out of the Finger Lakes region or Utica area out there. His name is Bruce Laporte. And Bruce has an organization called the Traveling Memorial Wall for Fallen Riders. And basically, it's all these beautifully done airbrushed panels that he brings around. And unfortunately, it's riddled with names of people that have lost their life that were bikers, most of them in accidents. And he commissions different artists to do the painting and things, the airbrushing. And it was panel 9, which was 2 years ago. They released panel 9, or was it last year?
I think so. No, it was
21?
2 years ago. Yeah.
21 or 22.
Wasn't it debuted at our spring ride?
It was. Yeah. So that was 22? 21.
21. Whatever.
It was there last year at the expo too, but I think it was 21. So one of our members in our organization, his name is Adam Akins. He's very active on in our group and on the page. Great guy. He's an airbrush artist, and he was able to do this panel for this number 9 panel. And Mike Rickey, who's one of our team members, lost his son Chris about 3 years ago now, 3 or 4 years ago now, in an accident down in Carolinas. It wasn't it? Carolinas. Yeah. And so they put Chris's name on the panel. One of my good friends, one of my best friends, who was killed on Father's Day in an accident 18 years ago, was on the panel. And then he also did a tribute to the Fallen 7, the Marines that got killed there in New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got all their initials and stuff like that he's incorporated into this thing. But Bruce, he brings this display around for people to see. But the other thing that he does is he advocates to get motorcycle safety awareness into driving school, like into the high school level and into the driving programs.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so he's been able to. I forgot how many. I think it's 45 minutes or so of actual program that's now into the high school. The kids, the curriculum for the driver's tests or driver program, driver's ed, and that is all his doing. And that's now going out and all throughout all New York State because of what he's been doing. And he'll be there with the wall. And he's a great guy to talk to. He's got a lot of information. Plus, he gives out those look twice signs, which are great. So people, we give away hundreds of those during the events. So.
Yeah, he'd be a great guy to get on your podcast, and
I'd love to have him on.
Yeah,
wealth of knowledge, that guy too.
I mean, if you guys could, make the introductions, I'm more than happy to have him on.
Well, I'd say if you're going to the expo, you'll need him.
Wow, just really know how to. Okay, let's see. There's that wound. We'll rip off the Band-Aid. We'll stretch it open and grab that salt and iodine and just pour it right on there.
No,
how's that for visual?
Bruce works with us very well. He's with us all the time, so he'll more than likely be at the next one too.
Hopefully, he's watching this right now.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. So we can definitely make that introduction for you though, because we'd love to have his because I know he's trying to do some more things in different areas too.
Yeah, and motorcycle awareness. If you've ridden long enough, you've either been down or somebody's been down, and I know quite a few riders who are killed on their motorcycle. One of my good friends, he was doing a Facebook Live on his phone, and my wife and I are watching it, and while he's riding, and watching him ride, next thing you know, I'm looking at the inside of a car at the glove box. Come to find out, the woman told the cop, "Oh, I saw him. I thought I had enough time." And she turned in front of him, and he went through the passenger side window. And that's how his phone ended up in there. He was killed on the spot. And the best part was, if you know anything about Connecticut, she left Mohegan Sun Casino, and It was down in Branford, Connecticut, which is an hour and a half, 2-hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time the cops got there and gave her the breathalyzer, she was 2 times the legal limit.
Wow.
And she was pulling into another bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
So, my little brother was killed on a motorcycle in Long Island.
Mm.
He used to work for a gentleman named Will Castro. Will Castro had a TV show on, at the time, Speed Channel called Unique Whips. I don't know if you guys ever saw that.
No.
It was turned into, the name of it changed to Unique Autosports. It's out there in Port Jeff, Long Island. And it was a pretty popular show, high-end car customization and all that. And Jason was his personal chef and trainer. So you're in this hobby, this sport, my lifestyle long enough, you will know people who go down and lose their life.
Yeah, of course.
Doing what they enjoy doing.
Yep.
Because people are stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also comes down to education too, and training. We were able to get the grab the interest of a group of guys in our group that they actually go out on Sundays now, and they get together, they put out the cones, and they do the slow rides.
Mm-hmm.
I would go to some bike nights and I would do the cone work, and they would see me doing it, and they would ask questions on how to do it. Let's get together on a Sunday and let's do it. And I would go and I would do cones with them. I had another buddy of mine, Steve, who also went through the motor school, and so he had a big passion with it, and he actually bought a bunch of cones, so he would bring them out for the guys to just play around in, and it ended up catching on. They get more and more guys there whenever they do these events, and it really comes down to that education. The more you ride your bike and the better you get at maneuvering your bike and knowing how to get around these things, it makes you a better rider. When I teach my guys, one of our biggest things that we go over is braking. If I had an 8-hour class, I think 7 of it would be on braking. That's how important it is.
I tell you, one of the best things the military used to do, even the Connecticut Guard, is every time you come back from deployment, if you have a motorcycle, there's a policy. You cannot ride your motorcycle till you do at least the basic rider's foundation course. Yep. Hey, good night, Des. Windroad is saying good night. Good night, Windroad.
Good night.
I see we have a Gary here from Westchester County.
Yeah.
There you go, Gary.
Hello and welcome. But, and I've been riding since I was 16 years old, and I'm 53. Do the math. It's well over 30 years, 36 years, I think it is. If not longer, that, I go to that basic rider's course, and I relearned things I've forgotten. And I also learned that I had a lot of bad habits, like the 2-finger braking, always keeping my hand covering the clutch. And, it's something you don't want to do, but, you get lazy and, you get comfortable. And there's some of the stuff that, I learned that, hey, this is what I'm doing wrong, and this is what I need to do it right and make me a better rider. Like never, when you're in a tight turn, don't look down because you're going to go down. Look through the turn. And, I used to drive in autocross and all that, and on the national circuit. And you always wanted to look where you're going. And, I never applied that to riding a motorcycle until after I went to that course. I'm like, yes, stupid. Think ahead, look ahead, plan ahead. Just like I used to teach when I was teaching autocross, and, it applies to 2 wheels as well as 4. But the biggest thing we need to educate is the people in the cages to sit there, and they're talking on the phone like this doesn't mean it's hands-free. There's no difference from here to here. Put the stupid thing down and pay attention to what you're doing on the road, because you know what? The life you save might be mine.
Right.
Or it might be somebody else, but you will save a life by putting that stupid thing down.
That's right. And again, it's all education. We're not going to be able to change them in the way that they drive. And I again give kudos to Bruce Laporte for getting into those driver's ed courses and changing that there. But the way we change ourselves and help us to avoid and minimize a lot of those things is through training. And that's just, it really just has to happen. And we're trying to do more and more of it. And that's one of the other big pushes and focuses of the Biker Foundation, is to really get that training out there and to facilitate a lot of trainings, not just for the road, but for CPR, first aid, stop the bleed type courses that we plan to host.
Yep.
And and that's it. Like I said before, braking is probably the biggest thing. The way that I've been trained on a 1,000-pound police motorcycle, I could ride that thing at 55 miles an hour and stop within 15 feet, pretty much. Yep. If I can brake it correctly, use combination braking, head and eyes up, shoulder square, parallel to the ground,
Yep.
Keep my back straight. And I'm looking at the horizon. I'm doing all the right mechanics and fundamentals. I can get that bike stopped in a very, very, very short time safely.
Yep.
And that will help minimize, those accidents, those types of accidents. So it's really that type of training, and not only just stopping too. It's also about braking and evading, and that's another training part.
Trail
of the training.
braking, and when you're doing a fast maneuver, to trail brake to help transition the weight and get around an obstacle or something that you need to get around so you don't hit it. All the good fundamental stuff that a lot of people forget about. Now, when I got my license, it was, you took a written test, and my buddy taught me the basics on how to ride, just enough to pass the road test. But the rest of it, at that point, I was self-taught, which is not the best way to do it. Now in Connecticut, if you want to get your license, you have to go through that basic rider's course. It's mandatory to get your license.
That's good.
And I think that's a great thing. My
Absolutely.
wife went through the course. I took it with her. The DOD paid for me because I just got back from deployment. She did a jump start at the Jacob Javits Center, and they gave her a certificate to take the basic rider's course for free.
Oh, cool.
So, so we both went through that course for free. It was a 4-day course. It was well worth every penny if I had to pay for it, because like I said, I learned things that I forgot or didn't know or had bad habits, and I was able to, shake them by the end of the weekend, which made me a better rider. I forgot all about, when you're in a lean, if you're in the right lean, push with the right hand, right. Before I was just, okay, I'll push with the left into a right lean. And, you're not counter steering at that point, especially at highway speeds. Right. So, that's all the stuff that I forgot or didn't know that I learned, and it was well worth it.
I went into that motor school with bad habits too. And one of my biggest habits was my feet. So I would put my feet on the floorboards, but I would have them out, like California laid back style riding,
I ride like that on my bagger.
Yeah. And so, but when I get into the cones and start doing that, you really got to tuck your feet in. One, because if you start to get really low, and the way that we drop these bikes on the ground and able to turn them on a dime, you can twist your ankle, whatever. Yep. But also when you're through the cones, you don't want your feet sticking out, because if you hit a cone or you knock over a cone, that's points that work against you, in the course, So yep. I learned very quickly to try to
tuck your feet in.
Tuck my feet in. Yeah. So that was one of my biggest habits that I had to learn.
Yep. Because that's how I ride on my bagger, is I'll put my heel on the floorboard, my toes up on the highway pegs. And when I need to shift, I just bring my left foot in. If I need to brake, I bring the right foot in, and, it's a bad habit, but I find it comfortable.
Right.
But then again, if I'm in stop and go traffic, I can't confirm or deny that I go down the breakdown lane. I refuse to go to lane split, just refuse, because that's just stupid. But and I've gotten pulled over by the state police going down the breakdown lane in the past.
Listen, it happens.
It happens. But I'd rather get a ticket than someone rear-ending me and making me kiss the bumper of one car and be part of the grill of another.
Yeah, not true.
Ticket hurts less.
Yeah,
I did that tonight on the way to the bike night. I had somebody in front of me that, it was a line of traffic, somebody in front of me, and it was partially my fault. I took my eyes out off of in front of me for like 2 seconds. I was looking over to the side, and when I came back, they had put their brakes on. They were stopped, and thank God I got anti-lock brakes.
Yeah.
But I reacted and just shut her down real quick and was able to stop them plenty of time.
Yep.
Enough
Just
feet
to
in
let
front.
you guys know what I ride is I have a 22 Roguelite CVO,
Oh, nice.
and I love it. And I have a 2020 Lowrider S.
Nice.
That's a nice bike too.
Yeah, and that's the Lowrider S is the hot rod. And
Yep.
I'm one of those people, okay, I upgraded the motor and the performance. I have to upgrade the brakes. You got the whoa, you got the go, you got to have the whoa. And a lot of people overlook that portion when they build a bike is, oh, brakes are brakes. No, they're not.
Mhm.
You got to be able to slow and stop that thing just as quick as you did before you made a performance bike out of it. And the dealership that tuned it for me, they try to put a little fear in me, telling me, be careful, it's a lot of power, and it is. It's 160 foot-pounds of torque at 3,000 RPM, and it's there till red line. That's a lot of power on a 550-pound bike.
Yep.
But again, it's as much power as you twist the throttle.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, good night, Corey. So that's one of the things a lot of people don't understand is when they build these bikes and they got all this performance and they want to go fast, but they're not reacting or they don't have the skills to react or going fast.
Right.
To slow down or what to do in a tight curve or decreasing radius or increasing radius turn. You want to throttle through it? Do you want to, trail brake through it? Do you want to, coast through it? Do you want to downshift before you turn? All that stuff. And I'll be honest with you, if I'm on a road I've never been on before, I ride a lot. I ride it more cautious than I do on roads I know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, these are diminishing skills. If you're not training them, you're losing them.
Exactly.
You got to keep at it. So
and
that's something
part of
we
the
always
military in me is train.
Yep.
Because even today, taking the bike to work. Okay, it's the first time I'm really riding this bike. I'm gonna take it easy, get used to it, got comfortable, and on the way home was a different story. I hit the back roads and nice windy, twisty roads. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, absolutely.
I love the windy, twisty roads.
Yep. I prefer it. I went out riding on Monday. I was off of work with my buddy Mike, and he's been riding a long time. I've been riding a long time, but we were just out in the backcountry roads in Connecticut believe it or not, along the North Shore here in Connecticut. And we're just going so slow that I'm sitting there enjoying the scenery and seeing stuff I normally don't see because I'm used to paying attention to what's going on in front of me and behind me all the time, traveling at a speed that, you have to, where we were traveling at a speed where I could sit there and take a look. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Oh, wow, there's a waterfall. I've been down that road 100 times.
Right. Now you can slow down and watch it and see the scenery now.
Yeah, exactly.
That was one of the things that I
172 miles
immediately noticed when you go from street bike to cruiser, right? It's like, now I can enjoy it.
I ride my cruisers like a street bike.
Nice. Good.
You have to.
I've been known on my Softail to scrape the pegs with 18-inch apes passing crotch rockets in the corner. And they come up on me and go, holy cow, I didn't think they handle that good. That's the rider.
Yeah, definitely your skill level. First time I met Ray, I was like, does he ride well? How's he going to do in the turns? Is he going to keep up with me? I had the Gixxer 1000. What did you have at the time? You had some sort of street bike or
I had a CBR 600. My F4i.
You had the Suzuki or something.
No, the CBR, the blue one.
Okay. Well, anyway, so Ray's riding with me, and he takes off down this curvy road, and I'm keeping up with him, and I'm like, man, this guy can ride, and he's taking off. So that Ray can ride his ass off. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
that's good. I mean, when I meet people for the first time, and they ask me how how do you corner a bike? How do you know? I says, oh, it's real simple. I'll come up to an intersection where I got to turn right. I'll stop the bike, put it in neutral, put the kickstand down, turn it off, walk the bike around the corner, get back on it, start it, put the kickstand up, and go. They're like, what? And I'm like, really? You think so? Gary says roads of North Bedford, Bedford, South Salem, Pound Ridge, etc. Twisty straights, past farms, yes, waterways.
Eddie knows that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bedford, South Salem. That's big money over there.
Yeah.
Beautiful homes, farms, white picket
My uncle
fences.
used to live in South Salem, New York. Actually, it was the oldest house in South Salem he owned.
Yeah, it's gorgeous over there.
Yep. I like going up that way.
I actually I work in Mount Kisco, so that's right there. It's not too far from there.
Yep. Yeah. Good night, Frogzilla. But I tell you, I'm going to end this. We're at 2.5 hours. It's 10:30 our time. I know out in California or up in where Angel Face is, it's 7:30 at night. But I'm going to end this here, guys. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for being part of this. I really appreciate it. I look forward to all the things you guys got going on. Look forward to seeing you guys again. Hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Anytime. You guys are welcome anytime. If you want to come back on, you know what? Why don't we do something after your event and do a recap if that's something you guys are interested in doing?
Sure.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Absolutely.
And thanks for all your viewers and visitors who chimed in and participated. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, everybody on the side chat, thank you for coming in. Thank you, Modenoggin, for coming on screen. Thanks to Eddie and Ray. It was great meeting you guys there in Naugatuck. It's great having you guys on here tonight. Like I said, I'm going to end this, and I'm going to end this like I always do. Everybody, make sure you live the best life you can. Ride often and ride hard.
Ride hard. There you go.
Eddie, Jay, don't go away.
All right.
I'll see you guys.